Beaches of Sarasota. Thanks for joining us here on Massa. This is going to be our third Orioles broadcast this spring. And it brings to Sarasota the Yankees. Mark Teixeira is on hand. A few starters in the infield for Joe Girardi coming up next. Spring training home of the Orioles. This is Ed Smith Stadium in Sarasota. And tonight it's the New York Yankees taking on the Orioles as we are at the midway point of this 2012 spring training season. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome. And indeed, this is the point where things get very serious. Those final roster moves that are going to be made have to be made shortly. Those final positions in the rotation, those decisions have got to be made as well. So, for the Orioles, a look back at this past week and some positive news about players, including Brian Roberts. Now, Brian's not going to be ready to open the season to play, but he is taking BP and ground balls with the ball club. He looks good. It's all been positive. He may be on the bench tonight to watch the game. For Nick Markakis, finally able to play. He's getting a game under his belt so far. He'll be working steadily after that surgery in the offseason, abdominal surgery. He looks good at the plate. Andy Chavez is a free agent, acquired by the Orioles to be one of the extra players, bench players. He's putting up the numbers to earn one of those spots. And Wei Yin Chen, 4 years in Japan where he pitched as a starter, now trying to make the rotation for the Orioles, and the numbers so far consistent in those 3 starts. And when we talk about consistency, we are honored this year to have joining us in the booth Mike Bordy. Mike, one of the great shortstops of all time, inducted into the Orioles Hall of Fame in 2011. His numbers at short, fielding-wise, rate with the best top 3, in fact, in the game. Plays like that made him an Orioles hero. And this year he comes into the booth, and he's not nervous, and he is ready to go. And Mike, it's just delightful to have you with us.
Well, it's great to be here. You know, it's an honor to obviously work with you and Jim Palmer and Jim Hunter, and to be a part of this broadcast is very exciting for me.
I think you're really going to enjoy it. See the Orioles, you know a lot about them. You've been on the field with them. How about a comment about Brian Roberts and what's going on?
He's looked great. You know, I've been working with him for a couple weeks now. It started just by ourselves on the backfield, taking ground balls, taking some BP, and he's progressed to taking batting practice with the team and ground balls with everybody going around. So all that action is a positive for him.
All right, we're going to take a look at the Yankees here tonight. A few of their starters who will be in the regular season on the field are here tonight in the infield. And we'll take a look at the starting rotations in the American League East, all coming up. Coast at number1beach.com. And it has been some kind of a non-winter here, much the same as is now happening in the Northeast. Not many times we come on with a spring training game with the temperature's been almost the same in the city of Baltimore as it is here at the spring training site, but that's kind of the case today. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Joe Girardi's Yankees tonight. It'll be Gardner, Nunez, and Cano, Teixeira, Ibanez, and Hall, Maxwell, Wise, and Molina. Robinson, Cano last year, 302, 28 home runs, 118 RBIs, and another magnificent year. And they will be facing Mike for the Orioles, Alfredo Simon.
Yeah, Alfredo Simon's got some plus stuff, and obviously fastball, slider, split, and a curve. His split is a swing and miss pitch that really wreaks havoc on hitters. He's very versatile. He can start, he can go long, he's also closed, and the fact that he's even more intriguing is that he's out of options.
That's one of the things that makes decisions really tough this time of year that we were talking about. He is 30 years old, and you see last season the numbers that Simone put up both in relief and as a starter. In the rotation, 16 starts, 3 wins and 8 losses as a starter with a 4.96 ERA. Out of the bullpen, 7 relief appearances, 1-1 with an ERA of 4.64.
He's got some good stuff, boy, and you know, going back to that versatility spot, I mean, there's great competition this year, you know, for all the pitchers, starting pitchers, bullpen spots. When you have that kind of versatility, it's just so much more, you know.
So even if he doesn't make it as a starter, it can always be used as one of the long men.
Exactly. He just has unbelievable value for a pitching staff.
Which is one of the reasons Buck Showalter keeps talking about the depth that the ball club has this season in that department, which they've not had in past years. Here's one of the starters for the Yankees for the regular season end tonight. Brett Gardner making the start in center field. There's Speedster, whom Joe Girardi uses both at the top of the lineup and also at the bottom part. He's had 3 hits in 23 at-bats, no home runs, and a couple of RBIs so far. Spring. Ground ball towards second. You got to hustle it. Andino just going to be tough. Nice play.
Very nice play. Boy, Andino's a high energy guy, man, and this just shows very second pitch of the game, making a diving play like that. That's a great start.
Boy, that helps the cause. Chavez, Jones, and Flaherty. Flaherty vying for a position as one of the bench players. Reynolds, Hardy, Andino, and Davis probably the opening lineup, and Wieters working behind the plate. Nunez stands in. He's making the start at short for the Yankees. Their utility player who gets time when Derek Jeter is out and can also play second base when Robinson Cano is out. 265 last year, 30 RBIs. Simone with a breaking ball that's going to miss away, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
He's probably going to get a lot of playing time this year. You know, Derek Jeter's turning 38 this summer, so there's a lot of wear and tear.
Chopper Reynolds is going to get tested early. Barehanded, can't get it. Probably wouldn't have had a play on that anyway, and that will be a base hit for Nunez. So a couple of tough grounders to start the ball game.
No doubt about it. I mean, it's do or die right there. He's got to come in, try to barehand it. You know, unfortunately, it kicked up a little bit, and I don't even know if he would have had a play anyway.
Good speed here for the Yankees at the top of the order. And here's Robinson Cano. Cano, of course, will be the starting second baseman for the Yankees. One of the best in the game right now. Numbers last year, as we showed you, were just magnificent, made even more so by the fact that he is a second baseman. You don't necessarily look for those kind of numbers to come from him. And he will take the pitch up high for a ball.
He's impressive. He's you know, he's looking to carry that torch on, you know, after Jeter and Rivera leave. He's one of the next core guys that the Yankees have developed.
Simone working out of the stretch here with Nunez on. Nunez not a particularly big lead, but he's going to go anyway. Wieters foul tipped. He'll come back. I have a feeling this year in the American League East we're going to see much more of this kind of game where teams are going to be very aggressive, even against Matt Wieters, who is right up there with the best of them. Joe Girardi's team's got some speed on it. Gardner and Nunez, when they're playing, they don't mind running. Buck Showalter, he wants guys in that lineup, at least 1, 2 preferably, that he can use for speed. It's one of the problems the Orioles have. Bobby Valentine's made it very clear he's going to run with the Red Sox this year. And at Tampa Bay, Joe Madden always has stuff going on with hit and runs and people moving. Just makes it that much tougher.
Well, you know, Anaheim's always put the pressure on. You know, they started that running, and I think a lot of teams have picked that up. And Tampa's been very aggressive, but you know, it's been a focal point too. Our pitchers, you know, having to speed up their delivery times to the plate, you know, to try to limit that running game.
See if Nunez goes here, and Buck Showalter's made it very clear, as clear as any manager I can ever remember, when he talks about pitchers. If you cannot shut down the opposing team's running game by getting to the plate in a hurry and making throws, holding runners, you can't pitch at the major league level.
Exactly.
He's very clear about that. I mean, there's no middle ground for him when it comes to that. Simone with a runner not going, and Cano will foul it away. That'll even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. For Alfredo Simone, this is the first start that he has made this spring. It is his 3rd game. He worked 2 innings against Tampa Bay, no runs, 1 hit. And he worked 3 innings against the Phillies. 2011. Is he returning to form here this year? 15 home runs allowed. He was 4-2 in 2010. 17 saves, 21 opportunities back a couple of years ago. And the off-field problems that he had, got those settled, taken care of, and now back with the ball club and trying to earn a spot either as a starter or as a reliever. 1 down. Nunez on at first base, and Cano with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Orioles play him straight away in the outfield. Pretty good throw over as Davis slaps the tag down. Nunez back in head first. To the outfield. Pretty deep on him. The wind's blowing a bit out towards center. Kind of a gentle breeze here tonight. 74 degrees at game time, and just a light high overcast after another gorgeous 83, 84 degree day here. 2-0. There he goes on the 2-2, and that jammed him, popped him up shallow right field. Andino back. Flaherty coming in. Andino's got it. That was a nasty pitch.
That was a nasty pitch. It's tough to get in on that guy.
And that will bring up Mark Teixeira. Always greeted by Oriole fans with a mixed reaction. The Maryland native who, when he came to the Yankees, of course, was talked about potentially coming to the Orioles, although in the end I don't think that really was ever very feasible. Not because the Orioles didn't want him, but
yeah, we were a bargaining tool to get.
That's right.
You know.
Nunez takes off again. Here's Waiters. Here's the throw. It's there. He's got him. Waiters right on the money with that one, as he had to slide into the baseball. So Matt Waiters gets it done. Hardy perfectly positioned. Nunez is retired, trying to steal. We'll take a look at the lineup for the O's when we come back. Tonight here at home, but Showalter likes to start what will probably be the starting lineup, or almost. Chavez, Hardy, and Markakis, Jones, Davis, and Wieters, Reynolds, Flaherty, and Andino. J.J. Hardy, of course, with a tremendous season last year, both in the field and at the plate.
Well, Ivan Nova coming in tonight. He's got a fastball, curve, slider, and a change. Kind of burst onto the scene last year and became a rookie sensation. Finished like 4th in the Rookie of the Year voting. And I think this arrival of Andy Pettitte to the Yankees is kind of putting a little bit of pressure on the staff to do a little bit better.
Interesting. And the pitch will be taken up high. Here's Andy Chavez, who's looking to make the Orioles team as one of the bench players. 34-year-old, free agent acquisition. Texas last year for 83 games, where he hit .301. Chavez has got a base hit, and that's the kind of spring he's having. Chavez really putting up some numbers and making a very big impression on the Orioles.
Yeah, he's done a great job. He's been like a spark plug for us, you know. And what an opportunity for him, obviously, to come over here. And there are chances to play. And if he can continue to shine through here, he may be the starting left fielder, left fielder.
You take a look at the names here, Mike. With Wilson Bedement's got a big term deal. I mean, he's almost got to make the team. And then Chavez, Flaherty's a Rule 5 player. Nick Johnson with power. Jay Miller has been outstanding in the outfield and put up some good offensive numbers. Hardy showed bunt, takes it on the outside corner. These are for the extra positions. Buck has talked a lot about Steve Tollison, whom he really likes, but it's going to be tough not to have Chavez, and unless a deal is cut that would include Wilson Bedement, with the contract he got, you would think he's got to make the team.
Yeah, well, I agree. I mean, he did sign a multi-year deal, right? 2-year deal?
Yeah. And Flaherty's a Rule 5 that if you don't have him on your 25-man, the Cubs are certainly going to take him back.
No doubt about it. And he's doing a great job. I'll tell you, all three of the infielders, Antonelli, Tollison, and Flaherty, have been doing, they've been opening some eyes. All three of them are great ball players. They know how to play the game, and they're really doing well.
Probably comes down to those factors that there's nothing to do with how you got to play well, but the factors end up being the Rule 5 and the big contract and that sort of thing that kind of make the decision if you've played well.
Exactly.
Now Nova's going to have to keep an eye on Andy Chavez, and here's another reason Buck Showalter likes to have Chavez on the team. He does give you, even at the age of 34, a little jump.
Sure does. Yeah, he can run. He can still run.
Still steal some bases. He had 10 last year, 10 out of 15 at the big league level, and he played at Round Rock as well. He did a little bit of running, 6 for 6. He's got a pretty decent lead over there. Not going in Hardy with the cut. Nova up in the strike zone with it and has the 1 ball, 2 strike count on Hardy.
Good swing.
1 home run, 2 RBIs picked up by Hardy so far this spring. He's hitting .250. Oriole bats still trying to get things going here, and they have picked up a little bit of late. The Orioles have been in the last 3 among the teams in spring training in batting average. Orioles coming in to tonight's game hitting as a team .222. The Marlins .221 coming into today's play, and the Tampa Bay .216, the lowest batting average in the majors in spring training.
Let's keep them right there for a while.
And a 2 ball, 2 strike count, which probably goes to show why you don't want to count on spring training numbers a lot.
All right. Well, probably their pitching staff is holding the opponents to probably a 170 batting average. That's the thing.
Good question. Jim Presley, the hitting instructor of the Orioles. You don't get overly concerned even at this point. You just like to see progression as far as the bats are concerned heading up to that opening series against the Minnesota Twins. That's what Jim looks for, and of course he's got Nick Markakis really just getting back into it here, playing as a designated hitter, and working with Reynolds and Davis at first and third, looking to develop a little more power and RBI production from the corners for the Orioles. Nova with a 2 ball, 2 strike count. Chavez not going yet at first base. Not running here either. That's going to be down the line. That's going to be a base hit. Dwayne Wise over to get it. Chavez heading to third, and going into second base is Hardy. No throw made by Wise. He held it, and in doing so allowed Hardy to make the turn and end up at second base.
Yeah, poor decision by Dwayne Wise out there, but good heads-up base running for Hardy. Hardy puts a good swing on an off-speed pitch. Chavi's going all the way, got a great read. Can see it, ball's in front of him. Wise probably should have just come up firing to second base, but obviously not doing that. Hardy takes it back.
Yeah, he took a look at third, and Chavez was never going to have a play there. So nobody out. Markakis 2 in scoring position. Nick will take a breaking ball. Markakis has had only 5 at bats, held out for the first part of spring training because of the abdominal surgery, but really looks like he's 2 for 5 here this spring, but it really looks like swinging without any problems at all, and he's been doing it as a designated hitter. He's scheduled to get back out into the field, hopefully in one of the games coming up this week, middle or latter part of the week, to make some kind of a start in right field.
Nick has worked so hard. Right after his surgery, I would go into Camden Yards this winter, and he'd be in the pool, working with Brian Ebel, getting him back in shape, and every day he's at it. And it's so good to see him back out on the field.
That is going to miss up high, and he lays off it, and a 2-ball, 1-strike count on Nick Markakis. Chavez the lead runner at third base. Hardy on at second, and nobody out. Orioles come in 5 wins, 7 losses, and 4 ties, including a 3-3 tie against Atlanta today. The Yankees 8-8 this spring. Nice off-speed breaking ball that's going to catch the outside corner, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count from Nova. What a season Nova had. 8-2 at home, 8-2 on the road. Really out of nowhere for the Yankees with those kind of numbers. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Markakis RBI chance. Came back inside on him and got him.
Wow, good pitch. Bottom fell out of it.
Over gets his first K, 1 down. That'll bring up Adam Jones. For Adam this spring, he's gone 5 for 22, no home runs, couple of RBIs. The Orioles have 7 home runs as a team. They have given up 6 to opponents. Only 1 down. Infield playing back for the Yankees. And he'll foul it away. Adam looking to raise the play again. Yankees defensively, Wise, Gardner, Maxwell in the outfield. Hall, Nunez, Cano, and Teixeira, with Molina doing the catching. And Nova on the mound. Adam Jones with an 0-1 count. Outfield very deep on him. Gardner way back in center field. And just missed the outside corner. Wally Bell is our home plate umpire for this game. Tim Welke, Chad Fairchild, and Bill Welke, the umpiring crew, veteran crew, with Bell handling the balls and strikes. Jones 1-1. Nova wants the signs again, stands off. Cat and mouse game going on here as Adam steps out.
Okay, how many pitches does he have?
Starts early. Division play. 1 ball, 1 strike. And outside, nice stop made by Molina. Chavez will stay at third base.
Nice to see Jonesy lay off that pitch. He's known to be aggressive on those hard sliders down and away. And I think coming into camp, he's making a true effort on improving his on-base percentage, be more selective. Let's hope anyway. This is a great opportunity for him right here to put a mark on the board. When it's second and third, 1 out.
Situation where obviously you've got to get at least 1 in. And that is a strike on the outside corner. Nova moved it back in just enough. And we'll even the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. This number 4 hole is one that Buck Showalter keeps talking about in the lineup for the Orioles. He's almost, I think, more concerned about who's going to bat cleanup than who's going to bat first, because there is no real true number 4 hitter yet on this Orioles team, and he's trying to go through these lineups figuring out who he needs to get a little protection for, or wants to get protection for. And that swung on and foul tipped. And so the number 4 spot is open, and it, like the leadoff spot, may see different players fill that depending on who's hot, who's not, and who they're playing against.
Yeah, I think there are going to be a lot of different lineups. Ideally, obviously, you'd like to have a lineup that you can write up every day, be the same. But I think, we do have versatility out here, too, so probably going to be mixing it up. But you'd love to see somebody just take this by the horns and say, I'm the number 4 hitter.
Yep. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Chavez Hardy off third and second. And a tapper foul. Showalter smiled about it a couple days ago when we were talking about that in the 4 spot. One of the writers asked, wouldn't you prefer to have a regular lineup for every day? Would you like to be able to do that? And he said, well, of course. And then smiled and said, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. I just don't have that kind of combination.
Right.
I mean, Nick Markakis, where do you put him in the lineup? I mean, Nick's been moved around. That one in the air to center. Gardner going back. 400 to straightaway. And goodbye. Home run. A 3 RBI shot by Adam Jones. And the Orioles have a 3-0 lead. That was not aided much by the wind either.
No.
That was hit.
He just might have made a lock for the number 4 hole hitter.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a great at bat, too. He fought off some tough pitches. Oh, my goodness. Breaking ball. He waited on that and put a swing on it.
So the first home run of the spring. And he now has 5 RBIs this spring. And the Orioles get the lead. The Yankees have surrendered 14 home runs so far this spring, while picking up 7 on their own. That will be foul back. Nova has given up 3 home runs this spring in the 9 innings that he's worked. Has been touched up. Nova's got some high numbers, about a 6.4 ERA. That'll go down to first base to Shera. Will take it to the bag himself, and Davis. He is retired for the second out of the inning. Davis out of there. Wieters coming up, talking about the number 4 hole for the Orioles. Certainly Matt Wieters. His name obviously gets mentioned in that regard. Switch hitting catcher, whom they look for to hopefully have a bit more power. He raised the home run numbers last year up to 22, 68 RBIs, and Wieters would like to do a little more of that. Matt's had a tough spring so far, going just 2 for 20. No home runs, no RBIs, and the breaking ball is in there for a strike from Nova. There is Brian Roberts, and this is the first time that Brian's been on the bench for a game. Not because he didn't want to be there, but the doctors don't want him there. If you want to know how sensitive the concussion situation is, consider this. They didn't want him on the bench because what he's doing right now, turning his head back and forth, talking to people, watching plays on the field, worried that just that would be enough to possibly have a reoccurrence of the concussion symptoms. He got a hold of that one to right field. Wieters back at the wall, and goodbye, home run. Everybody wants to hit for it. Matt Wieters gets his first home run of the spring, and the Orioles have a 4-0 lead. Impressive is going to be smiling wide here. We're talking about the offense that had not done particularly well in the first half of spring training. All of a sudden here in the first inning against Nova, it's doing real well.
Yeah, you know what? You were talking about Matt earlier in his at bat, and he's been out there just about every day taking extra batting practice. So, he's aware. He's aware, of, the lack of hits here. Wow. That's middle end pitch, and he just dropped the head on it. and made some noise on the end.
Yes, he did. And a strike taken by Reynolds. 2 down. Orioles with 4 runs on 4 hits so far. Wieters last year left-handed had 11 home runs and 11 from the right side. Mike Reynolds with 2 down. 0-2 delivery, and that'll be up and into him in a 1-ball 2-strike count. For Mark so far, he's had 4 hits, 18 at bats, 1 home run, a couple of RBIs this spring. You may not believe this, but he's walked more times than he struck out. He has 6 free passes and 4 Ks.
That's nice.
Any ratio like that during the year, Mike Reynolds will take that.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
Let's keep that up. Boy, that'd be great.
That would not be a problem.
Along with his 37 home runs?
Yes. Pitch is taken away. Nova, very long inning here. And a 3-ball 2-strike count.
You know, Mark's another one. You know, talking about Wieters being on the backfield, taking extra batting practice. Mark came into camp, I think, with something to prove, you know, about his defense. And him and DeMarlo Hale and Bobby Dickerson, the infield coordinator, one of the infield coordinators, you know, they're out there about every other day doing extra work.
Paying off. Made by Cano to get Reynolds, but not before the Orioles get a couple of dingers. A 3 RBI shot by Adam Jones, followed up by a Wieters solo. 4-0 O's. Runs, couple of homers, and they take the 4-0 lead as we go to the second inning. Teixeira, Ibanez, and Hall coming up for the Yankees. And DeMarlo Hale is going to be joining us from the Orioles dugout. The Orioles third base coach, 11th season in the major leagues coaching, 6 of those, the last 6 in Boston with Terry Francona. DeMarlo, first of all, thanks for taking time to join us here. We'd like to get impressions. I mean, you come over to the Orioles, you've seen it from the other side. What's made the mark on you so far this spring regarding the O's?
Well, you know what? It's been a pleasant surprise, you know, competing against these guys over the last years. And you get to see them every day and their preparation and the competitiveness that they're bringing. It's been a pleasant surprise for sure.
Hey, DeMarlo, it's Bordy. DeMarlo and I used to be teammates, by the way, back in 1988.
You know what, Bordy? You're telling our age now.
I know.
He's holding back on that.
You know, DeMarlo, I think we're all anticipating the secrets that you're going to bring over from the Red Sox.
Well, you know what, Mike? I think in talking to this coaching staff and, you know, the organization in a whole, it's no secret to playing good baseball. You know, it's preparation, it's doing the little things, and it's competing daily. And I think that starts with a mindset. And go catch that ball.
Way back. That's going to take a hop right up against the wall. Played by Chavez, and Teixeira will head into second base with a leadoff double. Go ahead, DeMarlo.
I'm sorry, but I think it's a mindset. And this team last year showed that mindset down the stretch, those last 6 weeks, that we can compete in the American League East. And no doubt it's a tough division, but I think it's no secret to the success that a team can have. It's playing good baseball, doing the little things, and preparing and having a mindset consistently on a daily basis.
DeMarlo, as a third base coach, are you aggressive, conservative in the approach to how you handle things down there?
Well, it depends on the situation. The last few years, being a bench coach, this spring training, I'm getting acclimated and also getting back to some fundamental things that I think is important to do as a third base coach. But, the biggest thing is, for me, kind of know the situation, and momentum is a big key in this game. And, you don't want to kill it, when you got it going, and you want to keep it, when it's on your side. But, Gary, the situation that dictates a lot about my aggressiveness.
Raul Ibanez, designated hitter for the Yankees, signed as a free agent in February. And Ibanez will take it in the air to left center field. Chavez and Jones both going after it. Chavez wants it. Teixeira will tag. Here's the throw coming all the way into Reynolds at third. He'll get in and move up. Ibanez retired for the first out. Now there's a play right there. Are you screaming from third base? Tag up, tag up, tag up?
Oh, yeah. And those are some of the things that you address doing your pregame work. You know the outfielder's arms, the situation, the depth of the ball. So, I'm screaming, letting them know the ball coming in. Let's not round third. Make sure you stop there at third, and we'll see where the ball is handled when it gets to that part.
Hey, DeMarlo, there's quite a battle going on right now for that extra infield spot. Flaherty and Tolleson and Antonelli. What are your feelings on those three guys?
They all have done very well here in the spring. I think they understand the role that may be asked of them, looking forward and trying to make this club. It's still some time to, one, get to know them, but also, two, for Buck to make the decisions and put them in situations where, see how they respond. But, on a whole, you're thinking about those three guys have played multi-positions here through spring training. So I think they've understand the situation they're in and embrace the role as a utility guy. So I'm glad to have all three of them in this organization.
Ooh, right on the helmet.
Breaking ball.
Breaking ball. Bill Hall down, the veteran, non-roster invitee with the Yankees, who's playing at third base. And that sounded, I hope, worse than it actually was, because it caught him right on the helmet.
It looked like he dropped down. A little breaking ball. Doesn't feel good. I know that.
Girardi out with the trainer. He got turned the right way. Going backwards.
Very smiling. It's a good sign.
Marlo Hale joining us, third base coach for the Orioles. Runners at first and third here. Justin Maxwell is going to be coming to the plate. He's starting in right field. DeMarlo, I know that Buck really likes to use his coaching staff in the sense of getting information and inclusion. Can you talk a bit about that and your sense of what Buck does as far as those of you who are coaches are concerned?
Well, I think we know that he's prepared, and through our conversations, you get an understanding of what he's trying to get him out.
He did.
But yeah, a lot has to go into anything and every resources that you can have to aid you in the success of winning ball games, and also preparing the major league team. And it goes beyond that. It goes down to the minor leagues, and who's down there, and it is an organizational thing where we're all in this together. So Buck, he does a great job where he includes everyone, and everyone opinion and thoughts are valued to him. And that's the one thing that when I was with him in Texas, I learned that during that time with him over there.
Marlo, we really appreciate you taking time. Great to have you aboard with the Orioles on the staff, and we look forward to working with you and seeing you in this coming season.
Looking forward to it, guys. Thanks.
Thank you. DeMarlo Hale coming over from the Red Sox, the new third base coach for the Orioles, talking to us from the dugout. Simone trying to get out of the inning. The RBI credited to Maxwell on the ground ball out, scored to Sherrod. Bill Hall has gone down to second base, and this is Dwayne Wise at the plate. Wise getting the start in left field in this game. Another signee as a free agent by the Yankees in February. Last season was with both the Marlins and the Blue Jays organization. Pitch will miss outside, and the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Yankees have a number of the Hall Wise kinds of players. They're veteran players who've been around baseball, number one, for a long time and have had substantial major league experience. RBI opportunity coming right here. 2 ball, 1 strike count, 2 down. Orioles have the 4-1 lead, second inning. And it looks as though Simone's trying to work on that breaking ball a lot here. He's thrown a number of off-speed.
It does seem
breaking
like
balls.
He's trying to get a feel for it. It seems,
yeah.
You know.
Seen almost as many of those as we have fastballs. Wise with a 3 ball, 1 strike count.
Yankees traditionally have very experienced teams.
Yes.
A lot of tenure. Right? Tenure, or is it 15 year?
Tenure's good. And he walked him, and that'll send Wieters out. So Simone surrenders the walk. He's given up a double, hit a batter, and given up a walk this inning. The 5 Yankees that he's faced. Pitching coach and catcher are going to go out and have a little conversation here about trying to settle him down. And you know part of this is about the fact that he hit Bill Hall in the head, and whether or not you got some lingering effect of that as to how he's working on the mound.
Right. He's just got to step back, take a deep breath. I think that's what Rick Adair's saying right there. And, you know, get your composure back, throw a ground ball, get an out.
First and second, 2 down. Batting ninth, Molina, who's doing the catching in this game. Russell Martin will be the starter for the Yankees behind the plate when the regular season opens. And in fact, I believe we may even see him in this game. He's here, or at least is listed on the roster for this travel squad of the Yankees. Molina with an 0-1 count, 2 down. And Simone gets the chopper to short. That'll be played by Hardy. The running throw over to first base, and he's got it. Yankees will pick up a run on 1 hit. They'll leave 2 on base. The Orioles have the 4-1 lead. celebration ceremonies, and much more planned as part of the 20th anniversary season at Camden Yards. And it will be a season to be remembered. No better way to get close to the action than the Orioles partial season plan. 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com for details. Gary Thorne, Mike Bordick. Mike making his Major League debut as a broadcaster. Will be joining us all season long. He and Jim Palmer sharing the duties. Flaherty's got a base hit up the middle. Well, we talked about Flaherty being one of those vying for a spot. Ryan Flaherty, a versatile infielder, Rule 5 player coming from the Chicago Cubs organization. The Orioles either put him on the roster or they're going to lose him.
Yeah, and that would be a tough guy to lose. You know, all three of these guys, Tollefson, Flaherty, and Antonelli, they all make our organization better. You know, if two guys go down to our minor league AAA, it just creates depth in our system, and that, you know, that's what we're fighting for, what we need. But Flaherty's really having a great spring.
Andino lays down the bunt, barehanded, little off balance, and got him. Nice play, Teixeira. Teixeira saving the bacon of Nova right there. It'll go as a sacrifice, and almost got a base hit.
It's on there quick. Not a fan of the bare hand, but nice play by Teixeira coming up the line and making that tag.
Nova almost lost his balance trying to come up with that. And Teixeira able to get that tag down on Andino as he went by. He moves Flaherty down to second base with one away. And that will bring up Chavez. Chavez singled and scored in the first inning ahead of Jones, who had the 3-run homer. And Chavez will take the pitch down low for a ball. So the Orioles offense now 4 runs on 5 hits in the ball game, coming off Nova. Left-handers hit 240 off Nova. Right-handers 275 last year. Gave up 13 home runs on the season. A low number. He's way above that ratio of homers to innings pitched already this spring. Way above it than what he was during the regular season last year. And part of that, in many cases, is just pitchers working on certain pitches, so they're not using the full repertoire and don't have the ideal location early, and they give up some dingers. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Chavez. Nunez holding Flaherty close at second base. Chavez will back out.
The wind blows out an awful lot.
That is true in Florida baseball.
Yes.
The wind does blow out. Those day games, you can get some rip-roaring trade winds. Tonight's pretty gentle. I mean, just a gorgeous evening. And a lot of times the wind at this ballpark blows out towards right field. It's a little bit out towards left and center for the ball game tonight. Just a really pretty night here at Ed Smith Stadium in Sarasota. 1 ball, 1 strike out on Chavez. Ooh-ah. Look out, DeMarlo fouled off outside of third. Orioles, of course, will be opening up at home as the Minnesota Twins will have the first series Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 6, 7, and 8 of April. And then the Yankees. The Yankees will be in for 3 night games, the 9th, the 10th, and the 11th. And that will be the first homestand for the Orioles, 6 games. And a bit unusual in that the way the schedule's been arranged this year, there's no off day between the opener and the second game. Generally, there's a rain day plugged in there because you know you're going to have a sellout. You don't want to lose that crowd to a rain out, so you have a day off between games 1 and 2 of the season. But this year, that's not the case.
Yeah, I remember one year we got winded out of
winded
out of opening day. It was 97, actually.
97.
I believe in 1997, opening day was winded out.
Wow. I missed that one. I hadn't heard of a winded out ball game. That's going to go into right field. That's a base hit. Maxwell's up with it. Flaherty's coming home. Throw goes into second base. RBI Chavez, and he continues to shine in the spring training season of the Orioles.
Man. He has been swinging it. And you know what? Watch his base running here on after he gets this base hit. He rounds hard and draws that throw, sucks that throw into second base, you know, allowing that run to score. Flaherty gets a good jump. Runs pretty well for a big guy.
Chavez has his 4th RBI. Chavez 2 for 2 in the ball game. He's now 11 for 24 this spring. And the fastball taken up high, J.J. Hardy. Hardy has singled. He scored a run. We were talking about potential leadoff batters. Hardy was one of the many that actually filled that role last year for the Orioles in a limited number of times. Buck Showalter kind of kids with him about it. Says, I've got to find a leadoff batter because Hardy keeps looking at me saying, not me.
Didn't he hit like
not
18,
me, Skip.
18 home runs
but
from
he
the
doesn't
leadoff
like
spot?
that leadoff spot for some reason.
That's crazy.
Yeah. 1-0 count.
Maybe he wants the 4-hole.
It's open, although tonight people are laying claim to it early. Pretty good lead over there at first base. Breaking ball, nice one by Nova. He is in there in a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Hardy's just trying to stay healthy for another full season. I mean, that clearly was the key last year for him, to be able to get through a season without injuries. 1-1, one down. Chavez, the lead at first, not going, catches the outside corner. And the count will go to 1-2. Nova did not lose a game in 11 starts in the second half of the year. He went 8-0 in the post All-Star part of the regular season. There goes the runner, and that's deep and foul. Wow. A lot of balls end up out there in that pavilion area by the palm trees. You take a look at the battle for the rotation as far as the Yankees are concerned. The addition of Andy Pettitte, re-signing, coming back, trying to make a comeback, is really shaking things up a bit. Sabathia, Kuroda, Nova, Benita, Hughes, Garcia, and now Andy Pettitte. Pettitte will not be ready for opening day, so he's not included as one of those who could be in the opening day rotation for the Yankees. But talking to Joe Girardi, the skipper, before the game, runner goes again, punched in the air to center. Gardner's going to try for two, and he gets it. Oh, what a throw! Gardner's got one of the best arms and one of the best fielders in the outfield in the majors. He is a Gold Glove caliber player, and he just gunned down Chavez to make it a double play. Orioles up. Of all time: Frank Robinson, Brooks Robinson, Jim Palmer, Earl Weaver, Eddie Murray, and Cal. When you purchase the Orioles Legends Celebration Series package, you get a ticket to each of the games when a larger-than-life bronze sculpture is going to be unveiled at the ballpark. And all fans in attendance are going to get a replica sculpture as a lasting memory. Don't miss the chance to witness Baltimore sports history and collect the complete set. 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com/legends. So Luis Sayala is going to come out of the bullpen as Simone works a couple of innings, giving up a run, 2 hits. He walked 1 and struck out none. Ayala's been given some chances here this spring. A little look-see for this veteran with the Yankees. For 2 wins, 2 losses, 56 innings last year. Had a 2.09 ERA for them, and we'll get to work against the Yankees here. We go to the 3rd inning. The Orioles have the 5-1 lead.
Well, Brett Gardner, isn't that amazing? Makes a great play and leads off the inning.
What are the chances, as we say in the broadcast booth? 1 in 9 is the answer to that, by the way. Gardner grounded out his first time up. Ayala. And that's something Gardner will do a lot of. Given any chance, he's going to put that ball down and force you to field it in the infield. Which is why he's great in either leadoff or the 9-hole.
Yeah, Gardner's another one of those guys that I guess kind of considered like Cano in that the new core, the new nucleus of players. We've got Curtis Granderson, Robinson Cano, and Gardner as well.
Suddenly you got to open that package back up again, though. You have to add Andy Petty back.
Yeah, right.
into the core.
Well, the old core is still here now. Yeah, I'm surprised Wade Boggs hasn't come on there.
Well, listen. One guy leads the charge, and the next thing you know.
Yeah.
Ayala with the 0-2 delivery. And Gardner will watch that one go by outside. Ayala getting a chance out of the bullpen. This will be the 3rd game he's appeared in, all as a reliever. He's worked only a couple of innings in regular games, a number of B games. 1 run, a couple of hits off him. And Gardner again refusing to chase. And the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gardner, Nunez, and Cano at the top of the order. Derek Jeter with a bit of a calf injury, something that's bothered him before in his career. Not playing right now, expected to be back this week. 2-2 delivery, grounded down to first. Davis. One away here in the 3rd inning. That'll bring up Eduardo Nunez. Nunez had a single and got caught trying to steal, which ended the 1st inning. Nunez, the backup in the infield for the Yankees. Their position situations are covered. And a strike delivered. With Teixeira, Cano, Jeter, A-Rod working in that infield. Not going to be many changes as far as the Yankees are concerned. I mean, why would you? 97 wins, 65 losses, and then, of course, the tough early postseason loss to the Detroit Tigers in that series last year. 2-strike count on Nunez. Outfield, they'll have Gardner probably in left. Granderson will be in center, and Swisher around in right field. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Ayala with a fastball. It's going to be foul back. Count will stay at 2 strikes on Nunez.
Yeah, the Yankees, I mean, have always had great depth. And, being in the East and playing against them, I think you can only hope that some of the older guys aren't in that lineup as often. Like A-Rod, Jeter. Trying to keep those bats out of there as often as we can.
Ayala thought he had that. Did the little flex on the mound after that one, but does not get the call. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Ayala, he delivered to Nunez, and that one's going to be punched down the right field side, headed to the seats. Just shy of the first row. Packed house on hand here at Ed Smith Stadium tonight, as would be expected. I mean, for the Orioles coming to Sarasota, number one, a great city. The work that's been done on this ballpark and on their facility where their clubhouse is and their admin offices are, magnificent. I mean, it could not be nicer. The Orioles also, it's a boon that you have the Yankees, Tampa Bay and the Red Sox continually coming in here for games, or you're going to them. I mean, you're guaranteed all kinds of sellouts in the spring. Not that you wouldn't have had big crowds on your own, but the fact of the matter is it makes the ticket sales even more aggressive when you have those ball clubs with all their fans in this area coming to watch their games.
Smart business decision.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's an ideal place to be. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Count will stay at 1-2 with one down. Nunez fighting off some good pitches by Ayala. Here's a situation now. You've got a pitcher who thinks he's already retired this guy. He didn't get a call 3 pitches ago on the inside strike. Thought he had him out of there. So now he's battling back here, trying to get the out in his mind again. That's the same place, and he's looking in again. Twice he's put the ball right where he wanted it, thought it was a strike, and didn't get the call.
Yeah, those are good pitches. Maybe a little low, but I'm sure Wieters told home plate umpire that it was pretty close.
Then came back with a pretty good off-speed pitch right there and had him out in front of it. 77-mile-an-hour off-speed delivery from Ayala, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. So he and Nunez in a real good battle. Orioles have the 5-1 lead, picking up home runs in the first inning by Jones, a 3-run homer, and Wieters a solo home run. RBI by Chavez in the second inning and a base hit. Fastball missed, and the count goes full. So a 3-ball, 2-strike count as Nunez really providing a tough at bat, and a lot of pitches being thrown. 3-2 from Ayala. And there'll be at least one more. Chavez with a long run, but he's not going to have a play on that one.
He is battling. That was a tough pitch right there. 3-2, breaking ball. I would think you'd be looking for that sinker, trying to get that up. He drops a breaking ball on you. 3-2.
Nunez played 112 games last year, hit 265. He got 309 at bats, so he had substantial time in last year with the Yankees. Here's the 3-2 delivery. Another off-speed pitch. That'll go to right. Battle one, Ayala. As Flaherty will haul it in. Run pretty close to each other in the back of the mound, but I don't think they said anything. That was a real nice at bat, though, by Nunez.
That was a good battle on both parts.
However, as my old broadcasting partner, Ralph Kiner, used to say, as a hitter, one of the great home run hitters of all time, don't tell me it's a good at bat if the guy's not on base.
Exactly. Exactly.
Ralph would say that after somebody had been up and fouled off 10 pitches and taken about 13, and he'd go, wasn't a good at bat. He didn't get on. Ralph, simple things always make the most sense.
Right. Well, I know as a hitter, you go back into the dugout, somebody says, oh, way to swing it, after you just lined out to the third baseman or something. The last thing you want to hear. Way to swing it.
I'm back here, Andre.
Yeah.
Fouled away. Ayala back on Cano. Cano popped out to second base. His first time up. Cano with a never-changing expression. Always calm demeanor. Doesn't seem to matter what's going on, what the situation, what the game is. What you see right there is what you're going to see all season long for 162 or whatever it is. Every at bat.
Consistently good.
Yeah, and look at against the Orioles, the numbers. 17 RBIs. And a big 300-plus batting average.
I'm sure that's pretty standard for every team he faces.
Based on his season numbers, it kind of has to be. Ayala goes to the outside with it, doesn't get it there, and a 1-ball, 2-strike count on Robinson Cano. A Gold Glove caliber fielder, perennial all-star at this point of his career. at second base and always up among the leaders offensively in a number of categories. 1-2 delivery, and he will foul that one back again. Last year he hit .302, which was 12th best in the American League. 28 home runs, 17th. RBIs, though, 118 RBIs. That was second in the American League in runs batted in. And all kinds of other categories. 7th in runs, 7th in hits, 3rd in doubles in the American League. 1-2 delivery. And he doesn't bite at a lot of bad pitches. That one just inside to him. So that's a pretty good career.
Yeah, that's a great career.
2 ball, 2 strike count on Cano. Ayala's delivery to him, and tried to heat that one up a little bit. Brought it back inside. Ayala will get up around the 90-mile-an-hour mark with a fastball. He keeps hitters off balance. Pretty good off-speed pitches that he throws. Simone working a couple of innings, a run on 2 hits and a walk. The Orioles started. 2 down, nobody on here. Cano with a 3-2. Big Baltimore chop. Davis. Ayala got it. A 1-2-3 inning for Ayala. Some pretty good defense showed by the Orioles. We go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. The Orioles lead the Yankees 5-1. To promote Ed Smith Stadium standings as one of the most environmentally friendly ballparks in America. Each game hat that was worn is autographed by the player who wore it, authenticated by MLB, and it's available on auction at Orioles.com. Proceeds are going to benefit the Keep Sarasota County Beautiful, a nonprofit environmental organization here in Sarasota County. The bidding will end next Saturday. To own a piece, a unique piece of Orioles history, visit Orioles.com and make your bid now for a great cause. Orioles up 5-1, bottom half of the 3rd inning. Nick Markakis, strikeout victim his first time up. Jones and then Davis will be due up. Nova, fastball up high. Nova's had a struggle here. 5 runs on 6 hits, including 2 home runs. Jones and Wieters in the ballgame. Here's the 1-1 delivery, an off-speed pitch. Take it inside, and the count will go to 2-1.
Yeah, Harrison was curious about tomorrow.
Nova, the 2-1 delivery. Markakis reaching a bit, trying to go to right field. Will foul that one back. 2 ball, 2 strike count. One of the questions around Markakis, of course, one getting back after the abdominal surgery, but that looks like it's on schedule. The other about the power numbers, whether we'll see from Nick this year more of the extra base hits. Swung on and missed. So Nova got him. Most strikeouts have been against Markakis for Nova. Adam Jones getting his second at bat. First inning, he had them on their feet. First homer this spring. And he went down and got it.
Looking for a big year out of Jonesy. He's come over here and he's just gotten better and better and better every year. And if he can continue that trend and lay off some of those nasty sliders that he has been prone to in the past to swing at, this is an all-star player.
In the air to right field this time. That's going to send Maxwell back at the wall, and he's got it. Adam doesn't hit a lot of long balls the other way. He got some pretty good wood on that one.
Yeah, he is so strong. Watching him take batting practice every day. Oh my goodness.
So Nova gets a couple of outs. He's got a chance for his first quick inning. Davis up, and he will foul that one off. The Orioles' first baseman, Chris Davis.
Another guy working for that, number 4 hole spot. Nice to see him catch on fire here a little bit in spring.
Foul that one away. They don't put a full shift on, but the Yankees do shift at third. Hall's moved over towards the shortstop hole against him, so they play him to pull if he hits it on the ground. Pretty much in the outfield, kind of the other way, actually. Dwayne Wise in left field's over a little bit and actually in. Here's the 0-2 delivery to him, and that's going to miss inside. A 1-ball, 2-strike count. Davis got in 31 games with the Orioles last year after playing in Texas. He hit .276. He had only 123 at bats with the O's, a couple of home runs, 13 RBIs. And that's on the inside corner. Nova gets his third strikeout, 2 in this inning, and retires the side in order. 3 complete here in Sarasota. Orioles up. One of the great signals, if you want to know what the standings are in baseball, here's the stat you can look at that we found to be the most consistent with the standings. When your starters, your projected starters at the beginning of the year, are able to make 30 or more starts in the season, and they get out there and do the work, you win. You see right here, teams with 4 starters making 30 or more starts since 2008. All of these teams, except for the Dodgers at the bottom, had that. They had 4 starters who had 30 or more starts, and all of them except the Dodgers made the playoffs. It's why starting pitching is consistently talked about as being the #1 thing you have to have in baseball in order to win. And year after year, the teams that have starters at the beginning of the year who are able to pitch consistently and make the majority of their starts in the course of the year, those teams win. I guess that just makes sense, but to me, it's amazing how consistent that stat is.
I know, right? I mean,
Wolf.
Year in and year out, it's proven.
Here's Teixeira. Orioles making the pitching change. This is Mike Wright. Last year in the minors, a couple of levels. Out of East Carolina University. Only his second professional season this year. He worked in the Gulf Coast for just a game, Aberdeen for 7, and Delmarva for 4. That was the beginning of his professional career last year. 3-2 with a 5.72 combined ERA, working as primarily a starter. All 7 of the games at Aberdeen were as a starter, and at Delmarva, 1 of the 4 games he pitched was as a starter. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Teixeira down to first, foul ball. It'll stay at 2-2. Teixeira doubled, scored in the second inning. The RBI by Justin Maxwell on the ground ball out.
He's how they're supposed to look. 6'5", right?
Big. All those tall pitchers who, when they finish, their front foot's almost on the grass and their arms in your back pocket.
Yeah. Hello, Randy Johnson.
Makes it look like a lot shorter distance between the hill and the plate.
Yeah, you're not very comfortable up there. Seems like a pretty good delivery right there.
Under control, and he is able to get the Sheriff.
He has probably been working with our new pitching coordinator, Rick Peterson.
So Wieters, make sure he held on to that and gave Wally Bell, the home plate umpire, a good look. Yeah, the Orioles, of course, are transitioning a bit with the pitching guru coming over, if that's an appropriate term to use. He's going to work in the entire system of the Orioles to develop a consistent pattern as to how pitchers develop, what they're throwing, how they do it, what their workouts are, how they prepare for starts, the whole thing. Rick Peterson has that job. Ibanez flied out to left his first time up. The DH for the Yankees pops into foul territory. Reynolds. The Orioles rotation. We said we're going to talk about the American League East. For the Orioles, Jake Arrieta, you would think, is going to get a shot at opening day starter. Chen looking to make it. Jason Hamill had a good outing today, we'll tell you about. Tommy Hunter, Zach Britton hopes to be ready to go. But you've also got Bergeson, Evelyn, Galarraga, Brian Mattis, Simone, who we saw tonight. Chris Tillman's been impressive, surprisingly impressive here this spring. So the rotation for the Orioles is not set.
It sure isn't. I mean, and that's what they talked about coming into spring training. There's going to be incredible amount of competition. We have a lot of new faces. Obviously, they need looks too, but what it's doing is putting pressure on our younger guys to step up and let's go. Shake yourself a little bit, and if you want to pitch in the big leagues, you got to compete for it.
And Buck Showalter's made it very clear publicly, 2-0 delivery. I mean, the things that are said by managers, and I'm sure sports fans realize this, in most cases, it's not an accident. When they have press conferences, they say things for a purpose, and a lot of it's because it's going to get back to the players who are going to read it or hear about it. And he's continually this spring referred to the competition among pitchers and among utility players. He likes competition. That's what's going to make you better as a team. And so he's harped on that. He wants the players to understand that. 3-1 delivery on the way to Bill Hall. And I was surprised, Joe Girardi, when I went down before the game to talk to him, he said, all right, what do you got left? He said, well, I got a couple of places in the bullpen that have got to be filled. It's really probably only one. And then he stopped, and then he said, yeah, and I got a rotation that's not done yet. He said, we got some competition. He was very emphatic about that. So obviously he wants it made clear to the pitchers who are vying. Not done. It is not a done deal. And with Andy Pettitte coming back, he smiles because it adds a bit of pressure, even though Pettitte won't be ready for the opening day game.
Right, exactly. I read that as well. And, it keeps guys on their toes. And that's the way it's supposed to be. That you can't have any kind of let up or get comfortable at all in a big league situation.
Well, Mr. Wright comes on and gets a couple of strikeouts and retires the Yankees in order. The Orioles have a 5-1 lead. Nova's action from Sarasota. It's the Orioles taking on the Red Sox. Our coverage on Massett HD will begin at 1 o'clock. All the access you need right here on Massett. 4 games against the Red Sox. These games present a bit of a conundrum for managers. Buck Showalter, I think in particular, does not like to show pitchers against the division opponents any more than he has to in spring training. He really doesn't want the guys who are going to pitch a lot to have to pitch a lot against the Eastern Division opponents during the spring. That's one of the reasons he shuffles some of the rotations a bit in these games. Matt Waiters delivered the long ball for the Orioles, 1 of 2 they've had. That came in the first inning, his first home run of the spring, and only Matt's 3rd hit. Nova working in his 4th inning.
Wow, he really stays behind that ball. I mean, that's what he's been working on in BP on the backfield, you know. So he knows he's got a plan when he gets up there, and he executed it perfectly on that swing.
Nova will come inside to him, and a 2-ball 1-strike count. Now the Yankees play Wieters again with that third baseman shifted over. They've got Bill Hall moved to short a bit, and Nunez way over towards second. Certainly not a complete shift. Foul ball, that got a piece of Molina. So Wally Bell will walk the ball out and give the Yankee catcher a chance for a breather here.
You know, you're talking about, you know, Buck trying to kind of hide his pitchers a little bit from especially interdivision opponents. Sometimes it's pretty hard to avoid down here when you're playing the Yankees and the Red Sox and Tampa all the time. But, you know, there's another side to that, too. A guy like Chen, who's never faced, you know, the American League East, it might be good for him, you know, to get a look at some of these big hitters, because you're going to have to face them when the lights come on. You know.
Yep, it's like it's the two sides to that. Always about who has the advantage when you're seeing a pitcher for the first time. Pitcher hitter, who's got the advantage?
Well, I think the pitcher does. I'll tell you the truth.
Swung on and missed. Nova's got 4 strikeouts as he gets Wieters. That's 2 Ks in a row. In fact, he struck out 3 of the last 4 batters he's faced.
Good pitch, little paint right there. That's one of Matt's strengths, though, that outside half. I don't know how many times we see him drive that ball the other way, but that was a good pitch.
Dick Arrieta, Ryan Mattis watching. Mike Reynolds. Reynolds grounded out his first time up. And Nova, there's a positive right now for Nova. It's the fact he's come back after getting hit fairly hard in the first 2 innings, and he's retired the last 5 batters that he's faced. And a 1-ball 1-strike count. Mark Reynolds grounded out his first time up. That's part of the deal. How do you react if it's not going well?
Exactly. And I'm sure Girardi's pretty impressed by this. You know,
left him in. He was going to get his 4 innings of work in at least here, even though he's thrown a lot of pitches. Mark with a home run and a couple of RBIs. 4 for 19 on the spring. 2-1 delivery lifted in the air. Maxwell, the right fielder, was no chance to get in on it. To share a nice play. Not only did he get back, but he got under it.
Nice play by Teixeira. He's got good range for a big guy over there. You know, he's a good glove guy. Probably one of the best in the league at first base right now.
You don't make that play probably if you got to do it over your shoulder. It's like an outfielder getting back on a ball so that you're at least somewhat settled underneath it. And that's what he did there. Maxwell was so far away and right, so deep he had no chance to get in. 2 down, nobody on. Flaherty.
You know, and those good infielders are aware of that as well. When they go back, they already know that it's their ball.
Flaherty on a check swing. He singled and scored. He led off that 2nd inning with a base hit, got sacrificed, and then came around to score. Always happy to point out a Maine native. Ryan Flaherty's out of Portland, Maine. His dad, the longtime coach at Southern Maine. And Flaherty played baseball at Vanderbilt. Has a home now in Tennessee and a home back in Maine. And right now is making the decision tough on the Orioles as far as those extra player selections. That went off his foot, and the count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike.
Well, I know that Buck and at least everybody in that dugout right there are impressed with this Rule 5 guy we just got, Ryan Flaherty. We haven't seen a Rule 5er come over here, that is knocking right on the door and has a great opportunity to possibly make this team.
3 ball 1 strike count. And you can bet the Cubs also are watching. They are the team that had him taken away in the Rule 5. Teams keep an eye on those players, because if they don't make the 25-man roster, then they have a right to get him back for $25,000.
Right.
And so if a player has played well in the spring, as Flaherty has, probability is if you don't put him on the roster with the Orioles, the Cubs are going to reach out and haul him back. Right. Flaherty goes towards third base hit. He had Hall going the other way. I don't know if Hall was moving intentionally on that pitch or just got caught, but he was taking a step towards third base, and the ball went on the shortstop side of him. He had no chance to get it.
Right.
Thank you.
Here you see, he broke to the line. I want to know if he might have been so far over there in the hole that he could see the sign and might have saw that it was a fastball away, and he just anticipated that he might slap it that way.
Which you're trying to do.
Sure.
And just happened to have it work the other way against you. So Flaherty's 2 for 2, couple of singles. Orioles have their 7th hit. And Dino had a sacrifice at almost a base hit on a pretty bunt last time up. Flaherty looking down to DeMarlo Hale at third, as is Andino.
Boy, Andino's come in with a new attitude this spring, thinking that that's his job right now,
And it is.
Yeah.
That'll go to short. Nunez to Cano. That'll get the force out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base, 4 complete. Ed Smith Stadium in Sarasota, where the Orioles lead the Yankees. Way when you pick up an Oriole Park 5-bagger suite package. For one low price, you'll get a fully catered suite for 5 games, including 2 against the Yankees, Red Sox, or Phillies, plus parking, VIP treatment, and more. No better way to entertain clients or colleagues and make a statement. For details, 410-547-6173, or you can go to Orioles.com/suites. Mike Bordig making his major league debut as a broadcaster. Gary Thorne with him, just kind of being carried along by Mike here as we go to the 5th inning. And swung on a miss, Justin Maxwell. There is no mercy given by athletes at the professional level. As Mike has found out this spring, once they found out he was going to be in the broadcast booth for the Orioles, they've been all over him.
Yeah, they've had some fun with it, but I've had some fun with it too. Baseball is the most humbling game in the world to play.
Yep.
And then when you become a color analyst, you get humbled even more by the players that play the game.
And a ground ball towards second base. Andino's got it. Maxwell is retired. 1 away here in the 5th inning. Mike, of course, amongst some really serious Major League history when it comes to shortstops. Vizquel, Rollins, and then Bordick, fielding percentage-wise, with a minimum 1,000 games played. 2002 had that .998 fielding percentage, the best in Major League Baseball history for a shortstop. One error in 110 consecutive errorless games.
I don't know. I don't know how it happened.
You caught the ball.
Yeah. There's a lot of luck involved, I'll tell you that. And I knew the scorekeeper personally.
Well, I like that. And he had his phone. Yeah, okay, good. Here's Dwayne Wise. He drew a walk his first time up. I'm going to ask, this is not to be negative, but do you remember the error?
Oh, yeah.
I knew it.
Sure.
What was it?
It was just a little soft line drive, one hopper up the middle that I tried to get the short hop, and I went off the end of my glove. Yeah.
So all pro athletes remember it. Yeah. Those kinds of things.
Well, how could I not? I only made one.
Well, you didn't have much to remember, did you? But you made all kinds of great plays, and you probably, I know you go through a few of those, but you remember that more probably than the great plays. Ball hit hard by Wise. Flaherty's up with it. Wise on. He is singled and drawn a walk now in the ball game, as the Yankees will pick up just their third hit. A Nunez single, a double by Teixeira, and now the single by Wise. Pretty impressive for Wright on the mound in that last inning that he pitched. Michael Wright, the right-hander out of Laurel Hill, North Carolina, and then attended East Carolina University. His breaking ball is going to miss up high. Gustavo Molina with one down and one on.
I saw him pitch a couple times last year in Aberdeen, and Scotty McGregor spoke really highly of this kid.
It's a third round selection by the Orioles. Here's the 1-0 delivery, and that will be fouled out of the stadium. Depth, depth, depth. As every fan knows, at Major League level, you can never have enough pitching. Ever.
Yeah, you got that right.
Just when you think you're all set, the 7 starters, 3 get hurt, 2 can't pitch, and nobody fills the gaps.
I know. Here we are talking about all these pitchers we have in camp, and one way or another, things tend to work themselves out.
Yeah. And inside, pretty good heater right there. 93 on the stadium gun. And a 2-ball, 1-strike count.
Don't get too comfortable in there.
That will get your attention. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 down. Runner at first, short lead. Wise, he takes off anyway. Wieters, and he gets in. So a stolen base, and he didn't have a very big lead, but he certainly had right timed.
Yeah, he did. Some pitchers fall into that the tendency of just repeating their delivery, and base runners can time that pretty easily.
So a stolen base gives the Yankees a runner in scoring position with 1 away. Takes away that double play chance. Molina with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. And Dina will try and hold the runner. Got him to chase one inside and high, and will get the strikeout. That's 3 strikeouts. 6 batters faced.
Oh, that's a live fastball right there. It looked like it was going to be over the middle of the plate and up, and it just took off up and in.
Power arm for Wright. And here's the top of the order, Gardner. Gardner has grounded out twice. Yankees looking for the 2-out RBI. Reynolds respecting that speed even with 2 down. We'll move in at third base a bit. Gardner certainly not adverse to trying to bunt for a base hit. And the pitch to him is going to tail away. 1-0 count on Gardner. Here's the 1-0. Stays away, misses up high with it. So Wright will take a little walk behind the mound as he falls behind 2-0. Gardner ended up 49 stolen bases, caught only 13 times last year. Ended up with a .345 on base percentage and an OPS of .713. 2-0. Wise off second. And that will be fouled away. He's got a big hole between left and center. Orioles play Chavez, the left fielder, in and over towards the line, and Jones in and over the other way. There's a big gap there in that power alley in left center.
Yeah, if he finds that hole, he could be running for a while.
Yeah. Obviously doesn't happen very often based on the stats, so you wouldn't give him that. Pretty good lead at second base for Wise with 2 away. 2-1 delivery. Gardner try and pick him off.
Yes.
And got him. Leaders said, you get me once, you don't get me twice. So they kind of let him wander and gave him a big lead, and Wieters takes Wise out at second base, and look how he snapped that throw to Hardy, who got in time and pulled it out of the ground. Carolina League champion Frederick Keys received their championship rings. Manny Machado, the shortstop, was among those in that line, and he also played for the Orioles today. He got a start today against Atlanta, and he tweeted, "Great day at the yard. Didn't come up with a win, but we fought till the end." It ended up being a 2-2 tie against the Braves. Machado had a 1-for-3 in that game with an RBI. Nick Johnson was the DH of the Orioles against Atlanta. He went 2-for-2 and had a walk in the ball game. The Orioles got some good pitching. Jason Hamill gave up only a run on 4 hits in 4 2/3 innings. He walked 1 and struck out 5. That's real good news for the Orioles. Wada pitched 2 innings. He gave up a run on a hit with 3 strikeouts. Villarreal a couple of innings, 3 strikeouts. He gave up nothing. So real good ball game, ended 2-2, but the Orioles got some good numbers on it.
Yeah, and it's great to see the Frederick Keys get recognized here because, you know, it's all about the player development in the minor leagues, and winning is a huge part of player development. And for them to be recognized and get championship rings, it's just a sign of hopefully where this organization is headed. And to win with players like Machado and Scope on that team, some of our top prospects, I think is huge.
They were all smiles out there. Championship ring at whatever level is a championship ring. So Phelps on the mound for the Yankees. Nova worked 4 innings, 5 runs, 7 hits, no walks, and 4 strikeouts, and got tough as he went along. He gave up the 5 runs on 6 hits in the first 2 innings, and only 1 hit in the next 2. Now the Orioles with a 5-1 lead, batting here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. And Endy Chavez, the leadoff batters, had a real good ball game. Couple of singles, scored a run, and has picked up an RBI.
You know, I'm not a big fan of the tweet for professional athletes, but Manny, that was well said. It kind of shows you what Manny's all about, being a competitor and playing hard. Kind of shows what he's made of.
Yep, couldn't agree more. 2 ball, 2 strike count. But Showalter, of course, at both games. That Atlanta game was over in Orlando. Down to third. That was going to be nasty right from the get-go. Ran up the arm of Bill Hall, who was playing sort of even with the bag, and Chavez shoved it right through him, and he's got a base hit, and he's 3 for 3.
Yeah,
wow.
I'll tell you what, well, that's one of the benefits of being a hitter like Andy Chavez. He can bunt, you know, so he's got to suck that third baseman in. It shortens the field for him, and, you know, he makes good enough contact. Hard hit ball gets on that third baseman quick.
He's 12 for 25 now this spring for Chavez. Here's Hardy. Hardy picked up a single and hit into an unusual 8-3 double play. A fly ball to Gardner. But Gardner ended up doubling up Chavez on a throw from center to first base. Orioles now with 8 hits in the ball game. Chavez a threat to go. Teixeira holding the bag on him. Phelps makes the throw over. Phelps working in his 4th game. He's worked 7 innings this spring. In those 7 innings, only a run on 4 hits against him. Opponents have hit just 167. 2-0 count. And a good catch on the outside corner. 2 ball, 1 strike count on Hardy.
Could be a good opportunity for a hit and run here. Never know.
Do you know the signs? Of course you know the signs.
I know the signs, but he didn't put hit and run on.
Throw to first and just caught the outside of the bag.
I think they might have thought there was something was going on too.
Two ball, 1 strike count, and a little concern over there as David Phelps steps back off. Phelps, the 25-year-old, 14th round pick of the Yankees in 2008. Fastball, he got it in. That's driven deep by J.J. Hardy. Gardner's got room. Runner halfway will come back. Hardy's retired. Gardner can make those kind of plays look a lot easier than they are because he's so fast. He gets back underneath him.
Yeah, he got a great jump on that ball and covered a lot of ground. But, you know, look, I'll tell you what, spring training at bats that result in that right there, JJ's got to feel good about that. You know, makes great contact, drives the ball, you know, deep to center. I mean, those are the things that make you feel good in spring training. Of course, everybody wants to get a hit, but more than anything else, you want to have a good feel. And when you smoke a ball like that, you know, you feel good about it. Because these numbers don't count here.
Exactly. Except for the few who are trying to make the team, and they count in that sense, but
yeah,
only in that sense. David Phelps with a runner at first facing Nick Markakis. Markakis has struck out twice in the ball game. Nick has the DH. Swung on a miss and a pretty good heater right there, and a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Phelps is in his 5th professional season. Scranton Wilkes-Barre last year, 18 starts. He went 6-6, 3.19 ERA. Comes over the top with that one and will miss with it. And a 2 ball, 1 strike count of Markakis. You're ready to get into the action when the Orioles open up at home on the season. Minnesota Twins in the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then the Yankees Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 night games. It all starts April 6th, 3 o'clock. The afternoon game against the Twins, 7:05 game on Saturday, and a 1:35 game on Sunday. And the Yankee games are all 7:05 starts Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Orioles have a big early road trip. Toronto, the White Sox for 4 in Chicago, and then the Angels on the West Coast for 3 will be the first road trip of the Orioles. Markakis fouls it back, and a 3 ball, 2 strike count.
It's good to see Nick swinging so aggressively. You know, I mean, I think that was obviously something we were all concerned about. But Buck and the trainers, you know, if he's going to be tentative, but he's letting it fly. He's not holding back anything.
You got him. Oh, and throws it away. They had Chavez picked off cleanly. He'll go all the way to third. Cano's going to go over to get it. And a throwing error by Phelps as he threw it on the inside towards the playing portion of the field. A two-base error.
Well, he had him caught, too. He was leaning. Oh, but he makes the low throw. And off goes Endy to the races.
Endy's not had a very good night on the base pass, getting picked off 8-3 from center field and the double play, and then really, I mean, unfortunate there. The throw was wild. He ends up over at third base.
Right.
Yankees are going to bring the infield in against Markakis with one away and a 3-ball 2-strike count with the Orioles up by 4. Phelps' delivery will miss, and Markakis will draw the walk. That is the first walk surrendered. Nover didn't walk anybody, so the first walk surrendered to the Orioles. Joe Girardi, the Yankee skipper, getting ready to take his team into action. Try and get a little more out of 97 wins than they did last year as far as the postseason is concerned. The Orioles get another scoring opportunity. Jones, the home run in the first inning, his first of the spring, good for 3 RBIs. He flied out to right field. And a strike taken. Breaking ball to Jones. As we've talked about in his other at-bats, until opposing pitchers are convinced Adam Jones is not going to go after the sliders, breaking balls away, he's going to continue to see it. That's what Mike was talking about earlier. That's a good pitch down and away. But if he does that, then you figure he's going to get better pitches to hit. He'll get more of his pitches to hit.
Sure. Yeah, it'd be nice to have, well, I mean, we've got Chris Davis batting behind him tonight. You know, get a little protection. And so they have to pitch to him because Jones, can hit. Boy, can he hit.
It's going to be away. Phelps staying on the outside part of the plate or beyond that. A 1-ball 2-strike count with 1 down. Chavez on at third base. Markakis on at first. Orioles with 8 hits in the game. Yankees error this inning, the first error of the ball game, and he chases one trying to drive it. Phelps gets the strikeout. 2 down.
High fastball just kind of challenges Jonesy, and you know, that ball looks pretty good coming in there. Probably about 92 miles an hour, and straight at your eyes, it looks like a beach ball, but you know, when it's up over 90 miles an hour, it gets on you pretty good. Tough to get to.
So a little situational work will be done here. Clay Rapata, who's trying to make this team and has got a shot at it, as being one of the relievers, a left-hander, is going to be brought in a situation you'd see in the regular season. Season in the 32 games. and now has a shot at making this Yankee team as perhaps one of two lefties who would come out of the bullpen and work in situations like this where you're coming up against a left-hander. As Rapado will be taking on Davis with runners at first and third and 2 down. We were talking about Joe Girardi saying that bullpen maybe 1 or 2 positions. Well, this is one of those situations. Chavez at third, Marquez on at first. Clay Rapado will try and get that final out. And Davis on the off-speed delivery, the big cut, and it's 0-1. Davis last year against the lefties, he hit .350 with the Orioles. He went 14 for 40, 1 home run. 0-1 delivery to him. Rapado, of course, with that drop down funky delivery, doesn't necessarily come hard at you. You tend to take a look at his motion and think the ball's going to be a little bit faster than it is.
Yeah, he's got a funky little delivery, arm slot down. He's got to be tough on lefties. I mean, that's why he's obviously a big league pitcher. That slider.
That's the look lefties don't want to see. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Now Davis will bear down. Not only hanging in against that delivery, he's trying to time it. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That'll go to first base. Teixeira will get it and go to the bag, and that will retire the side. Orioles out of there. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error. The Orioles leave a couple on base and have the lead. The American League, and the best percentage numbers catching base stealers. And watch this.
Great pickoff, throwing behind the runner. You know, that's a call. Obviously, JJ and Matt Curley made eye contact or gave a glove flash. All spring, Matt Wieters has been trying to work on these pickoffs to help control the running game, because we've been talking about it all through the American League East. Teams are going to start running more. Bobby Valentine over there. You just saw Joe Girardi trying to steal a bag over here. Well, if our pitchers, you know, do what they're supposed to do and stay under a 1-4 for their delivery to home, you know, Matt Wieters is going to have a good time throwing people out. But another way to control that game is to throw behind guys and try to pick them off. And he's really been working hard at that this spring. And boom, shows up in the game, and we have success.
He got him on that pickoff play, and Wieters has had a couple of real good throws made in the ball game tonight. He got Nunez in the first inning on a caught stealing that ended the inning. Wright facing Brett Gardner. So Wright working in his third inning as he's looked really good. He's given up 1 single. He's got 3 strikeouts, hasn't walked anybody, and he's been throwing strikes. Gardner's grounded out a couple of times. Here's the 0-1 delivery. And of course, the play you saw Wieters make ended the last inning, so you end up with the Gardner standing at the plate as the inning ends. And that's another thing that gets affected by it. I mean, you leave some good hitters at the plate and you can get runners who are on base out of there. Teixeira's been left tonight, and Nunez got caught stealing. A little late on that, fouls it off. 1-2. Orioles injury-wise still waiting on the backup catcher. Taylor Teagarden should be backing up Matt Wieters. But he's got about a 3-week recovery going, and Buck Showalter's not sure now whether he's going to be ready or not. Slight tear, ligament that supports a disc. He's had one shot in the back, epidural, but whether or not he's going to be ready to go is not clear. Teagarden's had that problem before. Back in 05, he had a back injury that affected his ability to play, and right now that is an issue. 2-2 delivery. Grounded to third. That's going to be a base hit. Chavez going over to get it. Gardner with that great speed is headed in. Here's the throw. Now he's going to go back to first. Nice play by Andy Chavez. That
was a great play. I'll tell you what, cutting that ball off down the line like that, a left fielder, is a huge play in the game. B.J. Surhoff used to be great at that play, and this is pretty much all Surhoff. Got to it quick, strong throw to second, done.
You figure that one, when it's hit's a double.
I know he was.
With the speed Gardner.
He made that turn thinking double, double, double.
Chavez holds him to a single, and that will bring up Nunez. Nunez has singled and flied to right field. Mike Wright gives up just his second hit. By the way, catcher situation, Ronnie Paulino's the third catcher for the Orioles, if you will. He, of course, had visa problems in arriving at camp late, and has appeared in just a couple of games so far, so he's a bit behind. There's still time for Paulino to catch up if need be, but he's the, right now at least, the third catcher for the Orioles. Eduardo Nunez with Gardner edging off. And aware of that is right. Here's another chance too for Buck Showalter and the staff to take a look at the moves that Wright has. They haven't seen a lot of him. A chance to watch his move to first base. Gardner not going, and a strike on the outside corner to Nunez.
Must be a pretty exciting time for Wright, though, right now, you know? Here he has TV game, playing against the Yankees, and he's doing a great job.
Second professional season and a very short one last year. Gardner trying to get a read. Boy, set him up for that pitch. He stayed away and down and got the strike called, then comes up and in and gets the swinging strike by Nunez.
He's really quick to the plate, too. Gardner, I don't think Gardner's going to run on him.
Oh, 2 the count. Gardner not going, and that's going to be inside. Did he go? They check it first. No. Tim Welke said he did not go around on that. He was just trying to get out of the way of it, obviously, but the bat came out over the plate a bit. You can tell by the way these hitters are reacting. Wright's got some jump on that thing.
Yeah, it takes off when it gets into the zone.
1-2, and Gardner back to the bag. Nunez, pretty good base stealer too. He had 22 for 28 last year at the plate. Gardner 49 steals, only caught 13 times last season. 1-2 delivery and swung on and foul tipped into the mitt. That will be it for Wright. As Buck Showalter's coming out, he wants a situational pitching change here.
Nice pitch. I'll tell you what, when you have that exploding fastball that rides up in the zone and then you got one down and away, hitters have no chance.
Nice hand for Mike Wright. A real good performance, 2 2/3 innings. Young pitcher as Mike Wright, 2 2/3 innings, a couple of hits, no walks, and 4 strikeouts.
Some electric stuff right there. You know, we talked about that riding fastball, kind of exploded up in the zone, and then he dotted some pitches down and away, and pretty tight slider too. And you can tell he's excited about it. So are all the Orioles.
Now it's Robinson Cano against Patton. Troy Patton, last season in the 20 games, called up and down with the Orioles last season, past couple of years for that matter. And Patton trying to get Cano, the left-hander, out. Cano's 0 for 2. He has popped out and grounded out. Patton working in his 5th game. He's worked 5 1/3 innings, given up a run on 5 hits this spring. And another situational change, much as we saw with Rapata coming on, the left-hander, to record an out against Davis. Here's a left-hander trying to get the out against Cano. Little lob toss over to first base. Yes, that is still Gardner over there. And in our Twitter chatter, Dan Conley of the Sun says Simone re-aggravated his groin strain in the 2nd inning and is hoping he can make his next start. Fredo Simone started this game. Gardner goes. Here's the throw. This play made by Hardy to haul it in. That'll be a stolen base for Gardner. So Simone with a groin injury. He worked 2 innings. Wondered why he came out so early and gave up a run on 2 hits. Has had a problem with the groin, and now it's re-aggravated.
Yeah, that's too bad. You know, hopefully he doesn't miss his next start. But, you know, if this is something that's going to happen every 3rd day, obviously they got to take care of it.
So Cano with an RBI chance and a 3-0 count from Patton. Takes the pitch, and it will be a called strike on the inside corner. Real good speed at second base in case of a base hit here. The outfielders are going to have to hustle it with Gardner running. Cano, 3-ball, 1-strike count. And he gets the outside corner this time. Cano against the lefties, 314 last year, 296 off right-handers. He had 8 of his 28 home runs against lefties. Troy Patton staring in, waiting as Cano steps out of the batter's box. Here's the 3-2, and down the line, another long run, Chavez, and no play. Well, the attendance tonight has broken a record here at Ed Smith Stadium. The single game attendance record has been set tonight for this ballpark, 8,686. The previous record was March 19, 2011 against the Phillies, 8,549 tonight, 8,686. So a new record for Ed Smith Stadium.
That's great. Good stuff. They love their baseball down here.
Yep, it's a great baseball area, and the long history goes back to the turn of the century. And that hit him. And that's an uh-oh based on where that caught him, somewhere around the hand.
Yeah, it looks like a little breaking ball that just never broke, kind of backed up, and Cano thought it was going to break, but it never did. Got him. Yeah, kind of dangerous down around the hand.
You got to believe Cano is going to come out of the ball game here. Steve Donahue, the trainer.
Hey, Teixeira, you need a base runner at first.
Hang in there. Nobody's out there to run yet. The invisible runner.
What is going on right now? We got a ghost runner at first.
There are supposed to be runners, I think, at first and second. And Teixeira will take the pitch away.
Maybe he called it. He probably called ghost runner at first. That's why.
They may have called him a strike. No, there was. So,
oh, okay.
So even though it hit him, they're calling it a strikeout. That he did go after it. So that's why there's no runner down there. 1 ball, 1 strikeout on Teixeira. Teixeira's doubled. Scored in the second inning. RBI by Justin Maxwell on a ground ball out. That is the lone run for the Yankees on 4 hits so far. Now with Gardner on at second base, Teixeira gets the RBI chance. Switch hitter turning around to take on the lefty. Grounds it towards the hole. Hardy bobbles, and will be charged with an error.
Don't see that very often.
Gardner goes to third. If he'd been able to pick it up after the first bobble, he probably would have had him. But once he couldn't find the handle the second time around, no chance. So now the Yankees have runners on at first and third. Teixeira is going to leave the ball game. Pick up the pinch runner here. And it'll be Mason Williams. And a check swing. Mason Williams, according to people with the Yankees here today, is the next best player in the Yankees organization.
Really?
Yep. Once they let that backup catcher go, this is the next one.
Oh, wow. They got him lined up, huh?
And he's running. Runner at third stays and got him! Oh, what a night Matt Wieters is having. As he throws out a runner trying to steal second for the second time in the ballgame. And he's picked off a runner at second base. Pitcher's best friend, a real strong catcher. Monday, April 9, 3-game set against the Birds. Tuesday, don't miss the season's first Ollie's Bargain Night, presented by Ollie's Bargain Outlet. All upper reserve seats for this and all Tuesday home games, once again, are only $9 in advance. So get your 20th anniversary season of Camden Yards started off right. 888-848-BIRD or go to Orioles.com. This is DJ Mitchell. Last year, AAA Scranton, 13-9. 3.18 ERA, very respectable. Clay Rapata came on, retired the left-hander, one batter he faced. Nova gave up the 5 runs, 7 hits over 4 innings. Jorge Vasquez has come on to play at first base. So Teixeira out. More to come. And Wieters, Kevin Russo's at second base. And Mason Williams is in center field. He came on to pinch run. And that'll be fouled away. What a night for Wieters. 3 putouts, outstanding putouts. Work behind the plate, assists, if you will, on the 2 caught stealings, the 1 pickoff, and a home run at the plate, his first of the spring. Also has struck out and has grounded out for second base. Russo makes the play on him and one away.
How hard would it be to be Matt Wieters and have to deal with a couple new Asian pitchers coming in, you know, that are going to be on the big league staff probably, and you know, and all these other new pitchers that he's had to deal with.
Not knowing who's going to be on the staff for sure.
What a task.
So you got to learn them all, and he does. In addition to all the other work. Mike Reynolds. And Reynolds will take the breaking ball. For Reynolds in the ball game tonight, he is popped out and grounded out. Mark, the 1-0 delivery to him. Another breaking ball over the top's going to miss. And a 2-0 count. DJ Mitchell, the right-hander, going to come in with a fastball, and he's not going to get it on that one either, as he missed down low. Almost aimed that one, and he falls behind 3-0. See if Reynolds gets a green light here. May have, but it's going to miss anyway. So Reynolds is on with a walk. There have not been many of those tonight. Phelps walked a batter. Now the walk here, and that's just the second one the Orioles have picked up in the game. Xavier Avery is going to come on to run for Reynolds. So Avery, the runner at first base. Orioles get the leadoff man on, and here is Ryan Flaherty. Running. Throw down is high, and he's got a stolen base. So Avery, who brings speed to the table. Didn't take long for him to get going.
That's good. You know, this is the one thing that he's got to work on, and from a player development standpoint, he has so much natural speed. You know, he's just got to run to learn, you know, how to steal bases. He got a great jump right there.
So the Orioles get another one in scoring position for Flaherty, who's got 2 singles and a run scored in this game. Pickoff saved. Nunez having to go over the top of Avery to make sure that didn't go into center field.
Tell you what, that's what speed does. It disrupts, you know, the defense, puts pressure on them, puts pressure on the pitcher because he's worried about him. And now hopefully he's going to hang a fastball, and Flaherty's going to get another base hit.
Outfield shaded to left on Ryan Flaherty. That's Tim McCarver, who came in to visit us earlier with a couple of his grandchildren and daughter, and former broadcast partner with the Mets. Tim always says nothing slows the game down like speed. He's right.
That's true.
Everybody steps back, slows everything down. 1-1 delivery rather, and that's going to be fouled off. Molina got a piece of him on that one, and a 1-ball 2-strike count. Avery on at second base. The Orioles looking to add to the output they got early in the ball game. 4 runs first inning, 3-run homer Jones, solo shot Wieters, RBI single by Chavez. Andy Chavez in the second inning. Since then, the Orioles have left only 3 on base and only 1 in scoring position. Flaherty with a 1-ball 2-strike count. Asked for the signs again. Again staying away, and Flaherty trying to poke it the other way, will foul it back again. So DJ Mitchell in a battle here, and a 1-ball 2-strike count.
Yeah, it's important when you're playing the Yankees to keep adding on if you can, because they have potential to put up some big crooked numbers.
It's happened before.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
Yes. Mitchell in his 4th game. This spring he's worked 7 innings, and he gets the strike. So he set him up for the inside pitch, and he gets the call.
Yeah, he did make a good pitch here. He was working him away, and then just locked him up with a fastball in.
Boy, Mitchell, 7 innings worked. He's given up no runs, only 3 hits. Opponents hitting only 130 against him in the times he's been on the mound. Now 2 down with a runner on at second base. Robert Andino batting 9th, and that's off Hall's glove into left field. Dwayne Wise will make the throw to the plate. Not in time. Andino does not advance. He'll stay at first. He gets the RBI single, and the Orioles have a 6-1 lead.
A nice bit of hitting right there. I wish he would have taken second base too. I mean, X is, he runs so well, even on a line drive. Actually, it was deflected off his glove, but the ball that gets to the left fielder pretty quick. Avery has such good speed, he's going to score pretty easily. And it would have been nice to see Andino get on second base and get himself in scoring position.
So the Orioles add to it. Andy Chavez coming up. Andino onto the ball game for a pinch runner. There are 2 down. And the pitch will be taken for a strike. Chavez 3 for 3, a run scored and an RBI in this ball game for the Orioles. And Andy Chavez also has had himself a very nice night.
He's had a very nice spring.
Sure has. Hitting well over 400 now. And Mitchell wants to have a talk with his catcher. While he does, we'll remind you this copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Baltimore Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Mike Bordick making his major league debut in the broadcast booth. He'll be up here for half the games of the Orioles during the season. Inside for a ball. Looks a little different from up here, doesn't it?
It does. It actually looks like an easy game to play.
That's what many have said.
It's a very hard game to play.
Chavez with the 2-0 count. Vasquez holding the runner at first. Andy Chavez stepped up as though he thought he was going to get an off-speed pitch and was going to hit it the other way, and it wasn't.
Right.
And the count goes to 3-0. And that is just going to miss outside. So I have no idea what the count is. Or he called it a strike. 3-1. Could have fooled me. I think one earlier might have been called a strike. That one wasn't. Here's the 3-1 delivery, though. It's chopped off the plate, and the count will go full. So a 3-ball, 2-strike count with 2 down.
I'll Gibbons in motion.
Gibbons a runner at first base. Will have Vasquez move behind him, the first baseman. He'll play back to the left-hander up there, wanting to cut off a ground ball that might end up in right field if he's holding the bag. Runner goes, 3-2 delivery, and that'll take care of the inning. So Mitchell gets a strikeout, a couple in the inning. The Orioles, though, will get a run set up by some nice base running, extend their lead. Orioles as Clint Mumby will come on to play in left field. Xavier Avery will be in center field. Jones out of there. Buck Britton will come on to play at second base, the better hitter of the two brothers, he says. Michael Gibbons will be playing at shortstop. Jason Esposito is at third base. And first ball hitting, Raul Ibanez, the DH. Flaherty, foul territory, he's got it. Ibanez 0 for 3 in the game. Talking about rotations in the American League East, and they are good ones. Maybe none better than this. James Shields coming off a great year. David Price, he'll be even better. Hellickson, Matt Moore, Jeff Neiman, and Wade Davis. They are loaded as far as that starting staff is concerned for Tampa Bay.
That's an unbelievable starting five. I was talking to Terry Crowley today about Tampa's starting rotation, and you just kind of wonder who would be the most comfortable guy to go up there and get 4 at-bats off of those guys. I mean, it's ridiculous. No, it's ridiculous. Those guys are really strong.
They are loaded, and based on that, if they stay healthy, they certainly have to be a contender in the American League East with that starting staff. John Link's going to come on to do the pitching. Those who have not made the team have been reassigned. You just saw them taking off, leaving from Sarasota Airport.
Is that them?
That's a quick out.
Yeah.
And here is John Link. You look at the numbers last season at AAA for Link. And here this spring, he is making his 5th appearance. He's worked 5 2/3 innings, given up only 1 run on 4 hits, with opponents hitting only 190 off the right hand.
That's some good stuff. Yeah, I haven't seen him much this spring, but I've heard his name come up in a lot of the meetings. You know, he's another one of these guys that we acquired and just gives us more depth in our pitching staff.
So we'll have a chance to take a look at John Link. Talking about those staffs, while we have a moment here, let's look at what's going on up north. Toronto's another team that's got a staff that, with some younger pitchers who can come around, they too can be very tough. Ricky Romero with that 2.92 ERA and 225 innings worked. Brandon Morrow going to try and pick the pace up. So is Brett Cecil. Work more innings, stay healthy. Same is true. Henderson Alvarez looks like he's ready to make a go of it all year. Dustin McGowan. More question marks than Tampa Bay, less experienced, but talented.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Young talent, like you said. And, you know, Toronto's kind of poising themselves as well to make a push. And if they can get to July, you know, the deadline, and see if they need a couple guys, you know, I think they're going to be a team that's going to be aggressive.
And you've got Lester, Beckett, Buchholz. Daniel Bard's going to move from the bullpen to a starter. Aceves, Andrew Miller, the left-hander, Felix Dobrunt. I mean, they've got some depth. The Red Sox do, certainly in their rotation. With Lester there, the Orioles not found a way to beat him yet. And that team's going to produce a lot of runs in addition, which Lester's been the benefactor of. He's been up among the top 3 pitchers in runs scored while he's on the mound. That's all you need when you got Lester pitching, is have the team scoring 7 runs.
Yeah, he doesn't need that much support. Don't they know that?
So the pitching staffs in the American League East, very, very good.
They are good. I think the Red Sox have a little bit to be concerned about, though. Obviously, losing Lackey and Bard. You don't know. We don't know there.
Yep. And the Orioles, of course, it will be the question again, as it was last year, of the young pitcher's ability to develop here at the major league level and win. 1-2 delivery. Hall takes it to short, diving for it. Givens knocks it down, but it'll be a base hit. So Hall, who got hit earlier in the ball game, is on. He got plunked in the head with an off-speed pitch. Bill Hall gets the base hit. Hester's doing the catching. The Orioles with the new battery now, after Patton came on to work. Link on for him, and Hester on to do the catching for Wieters. 5 hits for the Yankees. Hall at first base. And the pitch will be taken down low for a ball. So the Orioles with a 6-1 lead in the ball game, and Chris Dickerson making his first appearance for the Yankees. He will be hitting for Justin Maxwell. Maxwell had an RBI on a ground ball out. He went 0 for 2 in the ball game. That one is down low. Dickerson hitting .267. The Orioles, Simone aggravating that groin injury, worked the couple of innings. Ayala an inning, Wright 2 1/3 impressive. Patton the 2/3 of an inning, and Link has faced one batter so far. Pretty good number for the Oriole pitchers. And Dickerson takes that one for a strike.
Our pitchers have been really consistent all spring. They've done a nice job, and they've made it interesting on some decision making that's going to be happening here pretty soon. And you look at our starting pitchers. There's some guys. I mean, Buck kind of alluded to the fact that he thinks we're kind of laying in the weeds, and we could surprise attack some teams because nobody's seen Chen. Some of our younger guys, obviously like Arrieta and Britton and Mattis. I mean, these guys have something to prove, and they've got a couple years now under their belt. And that's what we all hope for. I think for them to mature and become the pitchers we all hope they can be.
That is the issue for the Orioles again, as it was last year. And a check swing, Dickerson, and that is a strike. Last year, the whole thing fell apart. I mean, you would expect it out of all the starters the Orioles had that there would have been 2 or 3 that would have come on and done a pretty good job. Didn't happen. It just didn't happen. And there's no way you're going to win baseball games when you are struggling to have a starting rotation, and that's what the Orioles did last year.
3-2 delivery. Dickerson will take it, and he is on with a walk.
Well, it would be nice if we could come away with a consistent 5 and put up those numbers that you were alluding to. Pitchers that can get into 30 games plus a year, and just have that consistency. And it would benefit them. It would benefit our bullpen. It would benefit our whole team.
Orioles have done well this spring. The Orioles pitching staff coming into this game a 3.22 ERA in spring training. That is 6th best in the majors in all of spring training. The American League teams, Tigers, Jays, and Red Sox in the American League are the only ones ahead of the Orioles. Orioles have given up the fewest walks of any team this year in spring training coming into today's play.
That's great. I know that was a goal. I mean, from a pitching standpoint, not giving the opponent an extra opportunity. Walks obviously being that, and from the offensive standpoint, we want to get on base and draw more walks. To increase our on base percentage. So I'm glad to see that that's working out on the pitching end.
That's a very solid number, and that pitch is going to be away. So Link falls behind 2-1. Dwayne Wise at the plate for the Yankees. He has walked, singled, and been caught stealing. 1 of 2 thrown out by Wieters in the game. The Yankees are run on 5 hits. They stranded only 2. Both of those came in the second inning of the ball game, and then in the 6th inning they left a runner in scoring position. Gardner was on. The Orioles have done a good job, the pitchers, in limiting the base stealers, not only the hits and runs, the base runners. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count on Wise. Runners off first and second. 2-2 delivery. In the air, left center field. Avery, center fielder, diving. Ball's going to get away. Clint Mummy tried to make the catch. They got 2 coming to the plate together. The throw hits the runner. The throw was off the mark. Hall had to wait and had the runner from first base, I mean within 2 steps of him over there. It'll be an RBI double picked up by Wise as Mummy couldn't make the catch.
Well, I thought Xavier had a beat on this, and I don't know if maybe just some miscommunication or somebody called it. Maybe nobody called it. Somebody should have caught it, it looked like.
Yeah, it looked, even though it was hit hard, it was catchable. And if the throw to the plate had been on the money, they would have had a chance, but the relay was way off.
Right.
So the Yankees draw a break there as they get the run in. And Jose Gill will get his first at bat. Gill up for the Yankees, hitting in the 9-hole, a 6-2 game, and 2 in scoring position. And Link with a pitch in there for a strike. That's about as close as you can come to having a runner pass another runner on the base pass.
He was
right behind him.
Back pocket,
he
wasn't
was.
he? I thought he was going to keep coming with him.
Wow. That's down to third. And it is a foul ball. Hall turned around and I don't think could believe it. He was actually thinking about stopping at third base, but there was already somebody with a jersey like his there. And they had to take off for the plate again.
Right.
Now that was close. Chris Dickerson was that runner. He's the runner at third base. 0-2 count. Jose Gil waiting on it. Gil will take a breaking ball. That one just missed. Watch.
Yeah. Oh, geez. They're all caught up. He wanted to hold right on to him, too. Yeah, he said, no, I'm not going to follow you.
He would have scored so the throw was way off the mark, but he didn't know that at that point.
Right.
Breaking ball away and a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Only one down, 7th inning. Here at Ed Smith Stadium in Sarasota, where the Orioles have the 6-2 lead, with the Yankees threatening to do some damage here. Base hit here, and there are 2 more in. And that's in the air to left field. Lummy going back. Runner will tag at third. Dickerson, with nobody in front of him, will come in to score, and that ball misses the cutoff man. Fortunately, there's no base runner. Wise moving up. So an RBI sac fly, 6-3 game. Gill gets the RBI.
Some of our younger players out there, Trent Mummy, and then the relay throw, kind of getting offline. You know, you want things to be as clean as possible, especially a younger player. And Press Buck, you know, Showalter, and obviously our player development, since these are the younger guys that are coming up through. And when balls are flying around the infield the way they have been the last couple plays, I'm sure Buck's kind of thinking,
not good.
Really?
Boy, did he tag that one. Deep to left field, just got under it. Mummy is back on this one, and he will make the catch. And that will retire the side. So the Yankees get a couple of runs in. Jose Vasquez on the long fly ball out. Orioles lead at 6-3. We want to remember at this moment Dave Philly played for the Orioles 55, 56, and 60 through 61, 18-year major league player. He died on Thursday at the age of 91, the oldest living former Oriole, Dave Philly, who passed away. We remember him here at 7th inning stretch time in Sarasota. Fast start here. First inning. Adam Jones, 3 RBI homer. Matt Wieters, first inning solo shot. Orioles had the 4-0 lead. Nova, his head on a swivel on those, and then Matt Wieters went to work. A couple of base stealers thrown out, picked off another in second, and the Orioles built up the lead and still have it 6-3 here at 7th inning stretch time. The Orioles out hitting the Yankees 9-6 in the ball game. Number of changes for the Yankees that will catch up with as we go along. Nova gave up the 5 runs, 7 hits over 4 innings that he worked, and then the Orioles got a run in that last inning against Mitchell. A run on 1 hit was a walk that set that inning up. Here is Buck Britton. This will be his first at bat in the ball game, and Britton will take it on the outside corner for a strike. Zach Britton, his brother, the pitcher, who can also hit a little bit.
Yeah, hit a home run last year.
That one is going to go down the line in right field, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. So Britton takes advantage of the opportunity as he picks up a leadoff single here in the 7th. Brandon Laird has come on to play at third base. Chris Dickerson is going to stay in the ballgame. He'll play in left field. And Britton is on with a base hit. Well, the Orioles with another leadoff hit. Try and pick up those runs they lost in that last half inning. Nick Markakis, the designated hitter for the Orioles, has struck out twice, drawn a walk, and was stranded. Nick getting back into literally the swing of things, working as the DH, and then this week should be getting into games in right field. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Strike on the outside corner. Jose Gil has taken over for Molina behind the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike count.
Some of these young guys that have come over, from the minor leagues and helped the big league club have really done a nice job. Buck Britton is one of them. Nice base hit right there. But, it's these kind of opportunities that open, coaches' staff's eyes, the general managers here, obviously, and all of a sudden they say, hey, who's that guy that got that base hit? Who's that guy that made that play? Oh, Buck Britton just did it. Or any one of these young guys. And that's how you get known, really. I mean, even obviously through player development, their names are out there, but here you are right in front of the big league manager. Do something good, it sticks.
Yeah, that's why it's a real dichotomy at spring training, that for the veteran players, the numbers and what they do in any particular moment doesn't matter a whole lot. I mean, you just want to have progress getting ready. But for people like Britton and the youngsters, it all matters, because you may not get another chance. Inside out swing will be taken to left field. Dickerson's got to come a long way, and he'll put it away. That is the first out. Britton will go back to first base. Buck Britton's in his 5th pro season. 275 minor league hitter. Bowie last year, Double-A at 282. 262 at bats there, 341 at Frederick and A ball. So very strong season for him last year.
He had a great year, and he's another one of these really versatile players. You can put him anywhere on the field, and he will play the game right and make plays for you.
Buck Showalter's the fundamental manager. Trent Mummy will take the pitch, his first at bat. Mummy taking a look down to third to see whether or not Britton might be running here. Mummy's had only 4 at bats, 0 for 4. These numbers are the A games. There are lots of B games that get played, and there are no stats on those. Double games, lots of times the B games are in the morning between the same 2 organizations, played on other fields in the complex, wherever it may be. Swing and a miss, and a 1 ball 2 strike count on Trent Mummy.
Yeah, this year more than ever, it seems, right?
Yeah, really. There are a lot of B games being played, because Buck Showalter wants to take a look at a lot of people.
Yeah.
He's really had the pedal to the metal on games. Here's the 1-2, and he got him on a pitch floating away.
Now batting, first baseman, number 19, Chris Davis.
Pretty good riding fastball. Just kind of tails away from Trent. Some nice movement. I mean, you like to see that on all pitchers, but you see that kind of late movement. Obviously, with that kind of velocity, it's pretty good stuff.
DJ Mitchell, working for the Yankees, faces Chris Davis. And Davis will take it for a strike. Davis has an 0 for 3 in the ball game, a strikeout and a couple of ground ball outs. So for Davis now, hitting about the 265 mark on the spring. 1 home run, 3 RBIs. Throw over to get Britton back to the bag. Vasquez holding the bag on, playing first in place of Teixeira.
I know Buck's pretty, obviously we all are pretty excited about Chris Davis's potential. He had a stretch
Hang on to that thought.
I will.
One thing you do learn in this business is you pay the bills first, and then your thoughts are allowed to go in the air. Orioles up 6-3. At bat 12 for your iPhone, iPad, or Android. Get spring training scores, stats, highlights, live audio, and more. Text at bat 31826 or go to Orioles.com for complete details. Gary Thorne, Mike Bordy, great to have you with us. Here is Robert Hinton coming on. Double-A numbers last year. Hinton this spring. This will be just the second game he's appeared in. Only worked 2/3 of an inning so far in the A games. Joe Mahoney has come on to play at first base. Davis out of there for the Orioles.
For Chris Davis. Well, there goes my story. I can't tell it now.
Finish your story.
Oh, all right, I will. It's just a little something about what we're kind of hoping to see from Chris Davis. Played in Round Rock. 48 games. He hit 24 home runs and had 66 RBIs. Pretty good numbers there. 48 games.
Yes.
He can do anything like that here. We would love it.
Bernier getting his first at bat for the Yankees. I remember at Fenway Park last year, Buck Showalter was in the office on the computer looking, and he said, come here. And he pointed at those numbers. He had Chris Davis's numbers up.
Yeah.
He said, take a look at this guy. Go look. He meant go look at his numbers. He went back upstairs and looked at the very numbers you were just talking about. Buck said, there's something right there. Somebody is missing something.
Yeah.
That's what he said. He said, somebody's missing something here. Why is he playing at AAA? That one goes to center field. Xavier Avery is there. Bernier is retired. So he was on the radar. Davis was on the radar of Buck Showalter for a long time. And Buck was really pushing to get him on this ball club. And now we'll get to, hopefully, health-wise, if he stays healthy, a chance to see him for a whole season.
Sure. Well, that's the thing. I mean, when you, especially a guy that can dominate a league like that, you know, you think, okay, he's ready to take it to the next level.
The Orioles are going to find out. Here's Kevin Russo. Russo with one down and nobody on. Yankees trailing here 6-3. They've been out hit by the Orioles 10-6 in the ball game. Russo is just the second game that he's appeared in for the Yankees. Trend in these minor league games now has been, as we've seen for all teams, there's a minimum number of players you have to bring who are on your 25-man roster or 40-man roster for each spring training game. Because fans, after all, are paying money to come in and see, and they want to see some of the names. So you have to do that. But on road trips, especially as spring training goes along, you really limit the number of those starting players to your minimal amount. And you start your starters at home.
Right.
Almost close to the starting lineup of the regular season.
Yeah, that's definitely the trend. But I think, well, there's still a couple more weeks to go. A lot of the night games that are scheduled, you'll see more of the A players out there, I would think.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that there weren't more here for the Yankees. But, you know, a couple guys obviously came over to share Cano. Jeter's banged up a little bit, but, you know, because you don't really play that many night games.
That's
and
right.
You got to get used to the lights.
Yep, good point. Here's Mason Williams. Williams in for Teixeira at first base. Takes it down the line, left field. And Mummy's not going to get to that one. That's going to be a base hit. So Williams is on with a single. Out of Winter Garden, Florida, selected by the Yankees 4th round. We were talking about him in his other at-bat, graduate of West Orange High School in Florida. The Yankees are very high on his play. A real good hitter. So a runner on at first base, and here is Cole Garner. Garner taking over for Ibanez in the designated hitter role. Yankees with 7 hits. That's the first, that's one, and that's going to do it. Line shot. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. And the Orioles leading the Yankees by 3. A lot of other Orioles, familiar Orioles fans here tonight too, but not up here.
Yeah, I've had a blast this spring because some of my former teammates are obviously here in camp. Brady Anderson is, you know, special assistant to the general manager. BJ Surhoff's down here helping out this spring. He's been down here a couple times, and he's done a great job. And Alan Mills, of course, out there in the bullpen is going to be the new Aberdeen pitching coach. So we've had a lot of fun talking about old times. And Chris Hoyles was over here. Now he's down in minor league camp helping out some of the young catchers. So old timers week when I'm here. You know, it's been a lot of fun.
That's something else Buck Showalter likes to do. He likes to have the names of the organization around it for the current day players to see.
Yeah,
guys who had winning ways, winning attitudes.
Sure.
And he's kept them active. So the Orioles with the lead. We go to the bottom half of the 8th inning, and George Contos is going to come on to do the pitching, selected by the Yankees back in '06. Contos last season. You see the numbers put up as he's trying to make his way back here. Contos, 26 years old. He had a call up in September, worked out of the bullpen. And Jason Esposito will lead it off.
Another Vanderbilt kid.
Yes, indeed. We were talking about that before the game today. That Vanderbilt athletic program really has come along a long way with the quality of players coming out of there. That'll be hauled in For the out, 1 down. Esposito retired. And not just in baseball. Condos gets the out. This is his first spring appearance. Xavier Avery coming to the plate. Avery came on as a pinch runner. Stole a base. Laird moves in at third base for the Yankees. And a big cut for a strike. Double-A Bowie last year for Avery. Another name mentioned often by Buck Showalter for the performance that he's had this spring. Here's the 0-1 delivery to him. Avery will take it away for a ball.
He's one of the fastest guys in our organization, if not the fastest guy. Great athlete, too. Played football. Probably could have gone and played in the SEC as a football player.
1-1. Condos comes back inside, and we'll get the strike on him. Update on Brian Mattis during this past week. Like Showalter said, quoting him, he pitched a couple of games on the road against what we like to call home game lineups. I just like the ball, the way it's coming out of his hand, and the command he's had of all of his pitches. Great news for the Orioles regarding Brian Mattis.
Yeah, that is great. Brian has been looking really well. He's got a good look in his eye, too. You know, obviously working with Brady Anderson, he's gotten stronger. I think he was aware of the mistake he made coming into camp last year. A little bit out of shape, not ready to go. And he has good focus right now. Looks good.
That'll go to center. Williams there to haul it in. Avery's retired. 2 down in the 8th inning.
The Orioles have made some, significant moves this offseason as far not just player personnel, but our strength and conditioning program has been upgraded and become more aggressive, which I think is a good thing. And we have a team psychologist now that players can talk to and get plans on how they attack a game or a season. So some good stuff.
And make no mistake, Buck Showalter's hand is in all of that.
Yeah, for sure.
And trying to restructure the organization and get it back to some winning ways. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Delmonico will take the pitch away. Delmonico getting his first at bat in the ball game. His first professional season is now in front of him, and he will foul that one away.
It's a good kid. I had the pleasure of working with him in instructional league this year. Hard-working kid, great size. He's only 19 years old, I think.
Yeah.
And great build, has a great baseball background. His dad coaches at Tennessee or coached at Tennessee. I think he's got a couple brothers that play as well.
It's interesting to note that his father, Rod Delmonico, was the manager of the Netherlands team, and I met him. I did their games actually in the World Baseball Classic.
No kidding.
Yeah, he was in 2009 World Baseball Classic. They were in Puerto Rico, and the Netherlands played down there. And I met his dad. He had been, you're right, at Tennessee, where he'd been a head coach as well. Their pitching coach was a recent inductee into the Hall of Fame. Name that man. Here's the 3-2 delivery on the way, and that's going to be fouled off. Minnesota Twins.
Bert Blyleven?
There you go. Ding, ding, ding. Bert Blyleven, Netherlands connection. That's where his family history is from. So he was the pitching coach for Delmonico for that Netherlands team.
Oh,
and
awesome.
they did a very good job. They surprisingly won a couple of ball games that they weren't expected to win, and really did the country proud. That is swung on a miss. Delmonico is retired. No stake for that one. Oh, it was really bad. Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Sarasota. So much to see and do in Sarasota on Florida's Gulf Coast. Go beyond the stadium to the #1 beach in the USA. Visit numberonebeach.com. Gary Thorne, Mike Bordick here as we go to the 9th inning. Endy Chavez has finished the work for the night for the Orioles, and a good one it was as he picked up 3 singles, an RBI, and a run scored. Endy, a nice night, nice spring training so far. You've got to be really happy with what's gone on so far, are you?
Yeah, definitely. I'm working good. I'm hitting pretty well, so I'm excited. I'm pretty cool over here, and I feel comfortable.
You look real good, man. I've thrown BP to you a couple times, and you have a plan every day. It looks like when you take your batting practice, the approach you want to take. And even in the field, everything you do out there, you have a purpose to. And it's exciting to see. You're an established veteran player, but you're helping out so many of the young guys, out here, just watching you go about your business. I think that's huge for this organization.
Well, that's the idea, There's a lot of talent in this team. And, to be around them, it's good. We can talk a lot about situations of the game. And that's pretty good for the team because I feel comfortable, I feel excited, and I know this team has a lot of talent, so I try to do my best to help the young guys over here.
Endy, because we've not had a chance to see you, and there's the strikeout picked up, is there, if I asked you what is your natural position, what would your answer be?
Oh, well, center field. Yeah, I just play all my career in center field. And I think from 2006, I started playing all 3 positions.
And you don't mind doing that? I mean, as long as you're in the lineup, I guess that's what matters, right?
Exactly.
Well, you keep playing the way you are, and you're going to be in a lot of them. Endy, thanks very much. Congratulations on the spring so far and on tonight. Appreciate you taking time to be with us. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Endy Chavez joining us, and Oriole fans may be hearing a lot more from him this season, the way things are going right now. Here is Chris Dickerson with 1 down, nobody on. They're a strikeout victim. The Orioles trying to put it away here in the 9th inning. Pick up their 6th win of this spring training. Split squad day to day. Tie game 2-2 against Atlanta for the other ball club. Jason Hamill, in case you missed it earlier, real good news, 5 4+ innings in that ball game and pitched well. The Orioles certainly hoping he is going to be one of those who just may be in that starting rotation.
Yeah, he's another guy. I mean, he hasn't faced the American League East.
Yep.
Surprise attack, baby.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And another lightning in a bottle guy, as we were talking about, and that's not meant to be in any way disrespectful, but it's a risk. I mean,
sure.
Jason Hamill's a risk, trying to make a comeback, trying to come back and play and pitch, and so you don't know. You're taking a chance, and if he's healthy, it certainly looks like he's got a shot at being the pitcher many thought he would be a few years ago when he was very highly touted.
Yeah, he's been impressive. He's a good kid too.
Yeah,
he is a nice guy. Yeah.
3-ball, 2-strike delivery with 1 away and a big cut and a miss, and that's 2.
Nice pitch, paint away with some leg movement. Gotta like it.
Stu Pomerantz, Corey Aldridge in right. Pomerantz trying to come on and end it with K's. 2 down, nobody on for the Yankees in the 9th inning, and Colin Curtis at the plate. Yankees with 3 runs in the ball game. Justin Maxwell, ground ball RBI out. Dwayne Wise picked up a double for an RBI, and Jose Gil had a sac fly for the RBI. The Orioles homers in the 1st inning by Jones, good for 3 runs. Solo shot by Wieters, both of them getting their first home runs of the spring. RBI single by Endy Chavez in the 2nd inning, and then the Orioles added another in the 6th on an RBI single picked up by Andino. And the pitch is a strike on the inside corner. A 2-ball, 2-strike count, 2 down. Record crowd tonight here at Ed Smith Stadium to see this matchup, this night game. 2-2. Orioles have tomorrow off, and then Brian Mattis is scheduled to pitch on Tuesday. And Pomeranz thought he might have had it. Doesn't get the call.
Yeah, that was a good pitch. Cheese at the knees, baby. Bring him up.
Rania Musteller will take the pitch up high for a ball. First at bat with 2 down here in the 9th inning. Fouls that one away, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Always at this point of spring training games, no matter how many names they give you, no matter how many traveling roster sheets they give you, he's not on it. Fouled away. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Maybe.
Additional players. Way down on the list, number 81. Rania Musteller. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and that's going to be a base hit. Do not count me out. They go behind on the count, takes one the other way. And the Yankees have runners on at first and second with 2 down. So the potential tying run is at the plate. Jorge Vasquez. Pomeranz's pitch is in there for a strike to Vasquez. Orioles getting a bit of bad news tonight with Alfredo Simon, the starter, working just 2 innings and re-aggravating a groin injury. So that will be another name added to the injury list to keep an eye on the day today. Michael Wright, fine performance, young pitcher, 2 2/3, 4 strikeouts, couple of hits, no runs. The Oriole power came in the first inning with the homers. And that's it. So the Orioles will pick up the spring training win as they beat the Yankees by a score of 6-3. 6-10-1 for the Orioles. 3-8-1 for the Yankees. Orioles win it. Wrap it up in a minute.